Welcome to episode 6 of Last Men Standing. I think it's episode 6. I've lost track of the numbers now. Doesn't really matter. I'm Stu. I have Steve, Richie, and a special guest. This week we are joined by Dan from Promethium. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Stu.
So we're going to have a bit of a chat, do what we usually do now. So
bollocks.
Yeah.
About shit.
Right. Well, we'll come to Dan. We'll give you like a proper intro and stuff, but we'll do like the now weekly format shit, which we're formulating as we go. So everybody got a drink. This has now become the start of every show. What we all drinking?
Oh.
McEwen's Export. That's probably like a product placement violation now, though.
I'm trying to get a fucking endorsement. I can't get guitar picks. I can't even get a fucking guitar string endorsement. Get a fucking beer endorsement or something.
I don't know what you mean.
Okay. First topic, I suppose, news. Any news in the world of music? And yes, there is some news.
Oh, is it? I thought it was still shut.
No, sadly, Bob Kulick has passed away.
Oh, yeah, that is bad.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Bob was an integral part of Kiss and many other bands.
Wasp, Crimson Idol.
Great album. What else did he do? Balance, Skull, Meatloaf. Did a lot of stuff with Meatloaf.
Did a lot of compilation albums as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Motorhead. He did some shit with Motorhead.
Yeah, what did he do with Motorhead?
He engineered or produced or something. I can't remember.
Did that Christmas track as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, with that one that Lemmy sang. I forgot it was Reindeer one, wasn't it, or something?
So yeah, he's done a lot of shit, and sadly he is no longer with us. So
we'll give you for Bob.
Let's have a raise of the glass to Bob. He's had some troubles, but you know. Is that it? Any other news?
That goes on and up. Let's take it. Let's go a bit further up on the upward trajectory. Anything else good happened?
I don't know. I'm asking you. You're usually news guy.
Oh, nah. Fuck all, mate. Not a thing. Not a dicky bird of interest, really, has passed my mobile phone screen.
It's not much.
There's a lot of folk doing stuff from their house. Gigs from kitchen gigs. That's about it.
Yeah.
No, it's been pretty. There's just nothing, is there? Apart from the fact that I'm still going through my Five Finger Death Punch. Oh, God, we're going to go off now, aren't we?
No, fucking hell.
Great band.
Where were you last week?
Yeah, we
took a right beating last week.
We ripped into them last week.
Oh.
How come you? They're perfect.
Oh, quite easily.
Why not fans, Dan? Why not fans, them?
It just happened. I don't know what happened. And it was just like, ooh, I like that.
They were nice to them at the end, though.
You're going to kick me out now, aren't you?
We said well done, Don. We said well done at the end.
Yeah, they've done well.
Good lads.
Since there's no actual news this week, that will just lead us straight into segment number 2, which is what have we been listening to this week? And the answer for that is...
What have we been listening to this week?
Five Finger Death Punch.
No, I'm prepared. Just wait.
Fucking showing us up,
He's off to get the Nickelback album now.
Yeah, so I had been listening to Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh.
Okay. All right, you ready? Demons and Lights.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
All right.
Limited edition. Life doesn't know how much that cost. Right. New Testament.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Better than the Old Testament.
Five Finger Death Punch F8. And Trivium. And Punch F8.
F off.
Oh,
Lovely.
How come I'm the only one prepared?
yeah, because
Because we don't fucking prepare stuff ever.
I've been taking it seriously.
No, honestly, it's really bad. I mean, the problem is when you're trying to do brand placement, all right, just saying, that, you know, it's... right, no, I kid you. I literally, right, I bought a load of CDs before, like, lockdown. I was, like, ordered, like, this stack, and I've literally gone through everything. And now you start to go back through your old stuff, and you start listening to these CDs, and you think, oh, what that sounded like. God, that is crap. That's why I filed it.
Aye.
And I tell you what, it was amazing. It was like, I bought a load of stuff and gone through a load of, like, all I thought, you know, I listened to to Steve Vai for a bit, you know, and you start listening, and you go, God, how good this album was when I was younger. And it's just like, wow. And there's a reason I stopped listening to it, because I can't play it.
It does, like Steve.
So I went back to Five Finger Death Punch.
Steve has that tendency to make you like want to practice more than anything that actually, you know.
No, it's one of them. It's just you sort of notice it, and it's like weird. I went away from listening to like instrumental music when I was younger. Because you get obsessed with it, you get it, and you go, oh my God, that's it. I just want to be this most amazing guitarist, and you realise you can't do it. You ain't ever. So you give up, and you use that terminology. At least I can write songs.
Yep.
Basically, because you can't, you know, do a Steve Vai, and you go, yeah, that's what I can. I'm a songwriter. It's true. Yeah, it's true. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's why you sort of go with Five Finger Death Punch. I'm going to stop doing that now. And that was it. And I'd gone through. I bought a load of stuff, and I forgot what I got. That was that band Tantrum.
Well, I don't know who they are.
Yeah, Scott. I don't know. A bit weird.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm sick.
Everybody's got props tonight.
Yeah, really.
I've no idea what product placement is.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
This is getting a bit fucking much.
Some t-shirts just there.
Okay. I'll plug our merch later.
Plug something.
Right, somebody else. Who else is going to listen to something? Tell me.
I've been listening to. I actually went back and listened to on Sunday. Actually, I started listening to Book of Souls again by Maiden. Because as much as I'm a big Maiden fan, there's one that I kind of struggles to get into a bit. Like I'll listen to it, and I think it's because it's too long
and not very good.
No, shut the fuck up, idiot. Who say that? But yeah, I get sort of halfway through, and I'm like, oh, I've not got time for me to fall asleep or go make a cup of tea or something. But I did. I set aside, 5 hours.
5 hours, and to read the book.
Yeah, I really absorbed myself in the liner notes.
It's a weird thing because you get it. I remember when it came out, and everyone was just like, "Oh my God, the new Maiden album's come out!" And there was that big thing on Facebook, and everyone was like, "Going, look, I've got it!" And I remember listening to it. I thought, "Yeah, this is cool." And then you listen to it again, and you're like, and I just now I don't know. It's not one that I play. That it's like the Blaze albums. I'll fully admit, I like the Blaze albums.
Yeah,
that was like
3 on 1 too.
On this.
No, I think the thing is, if they put them both together, they could actually have an amazing album. I think there's rubbish on each, but if they put them both together, it'd be a great album. But it's like their album. I think what do you call it? I was going to say Living on a Prayer, but it's not Living on a Prayer. It's No Prayer.
No Prayer for the Dying.
Yeah, I think that's great, and people hate that. Same with Fear of
the Lord. That was my first album I ever bought. Love it.
Was it?
Mm. On tape.
I am the odd man out tonight.
Yeah, I've got it on tape as well.
No, go on, Stu. You're...
No, I am that guy. I don't like pretty much anything from Seventh Son onwards, really.
Wow.
Fucking hipster. He only likes the Metallica stuff with Ron McGovney in the band. Cliff who? Fucking overrated.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I listened to it on vinyl like a proper hipster. And I did notice it does actually, it's one of the ones that does sound better on vinyl for some reason. I don't know if it's because it's a 4 vinyl job, that's why it takes 5 hours. you've got to turn the fucking full record over. But it definitely does sound, it gives you a bit more clarity and a bit more mid-rangey sound. You can actually hear it. When you've got like 3 guitar players, you need to hear everything. So you do on vinyl. So I enjoyed that. I listened to the new Robert Pearson humbucker that you very kindly posted me, Stu, Multi Care package. I enjoyed that. I think that's more eclectic than the last stuff.
It's good.
I've only listened to it once, so I've had like a cursory listen, and it was kind of in the car, so I wasn't properly paying attention. But that, I don't even know the track name, but track 9 stood out. It's like a almost poppy punky kind of thing, which I didn't really expect. They've always kind of veered on the poppy side. They've always had that, but it was quite an unexpected kind of punky vibe to it, which I liked.
It's got that cheap, tricky kind of feel to it at times.
Mm-hmm. There's more guitar harmonies on it, or it sounds like there's more. It sounds more like metally harmonies on it, but it's not. Like it's not a metal album, but
I think it's just
hard rock album.
Slightly better produced. There's a bit more.
It is better produced, yeah.
Going on.
Did it himself as well.
I've got a good one. What does it mean if you order a Joe Bonamassa album?
It means you probably drive a Vauxhall Vectra.
Cool.
It means that he wears a suit. See, if you wear a suit and you're playing a guitar, fuck off. It's fuck off. It's not
it's good enough for Gary Moore, though.
Nah, fuck off, guy. See, when he was wearing a suit, fuck off. Nah. A suit with a guitar on, you look.
Okay, all right, cancel this. Okay, I accident. I had a drink. I listened to a song. I thought it was good. I ordered 2 albums. They're not cheap. And you know what? Those 2 songs I listened to were the only good songs.
You know, I consider myself a fan of Joe Bonamassa, but I actually don't really like a lot of his solo albums.
I like Black Country Communion.
Yeah, man.
No.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
He's good in things. He's good when he does like Beth Hart and all that stuff. I enjoy all that. But when he's on his own, not so much.
I just don't like blues. I can't get it, man.
Oh, you're weird.
I don't know. I just listened to a couple of songs. I'm like, this is all right. I'm going to get this. Is shit. It was 13 quid. Got the limited version. Limited because it was crap. Here you go, Dad. Father's Day. Remember Joe Bonamassa? You like him, don't you? It's not in rapping. It's limited.
Oh man, is that anything else beyond Robert Pearson's humbucker?
Angel Witch again. I listened to the last one. Oh, the fuck is it called? The most recent one. I listened to it last night. I actually listened to bits of the first Angel Witch record because I have a new riff that I've written and I'm sure I've ripped it off from them, so I had to listen to the whole album. Like the first intro riff of every song off the first record, so I fucking ripped this off somewhere. But I hadn't, which was lovely. And it was just good to listen to those riffs again, that was fun. I said Haunt again the other day, Mind Please. Jamming that. Witch Hazel too, from your neck of the woods, Dan. Lancaster Boys.
Yeah.
That's a great album, that.
Really that is a good album.
They're a good band. I like them.
I need to dig that out. It's been a while since I've heard it.
It's really fucking good. Good for a sort of summer's day in the back garden drinking a beer.
Yeah.
You should be drinking mead and like
probably, yeah.
Jousting.
At a medieval fair.
Yeah.
A Renaissance fair.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
You should be saying that all.
On a medieval folk dance.
Yeah, on a medieval folk dance, yeah. A wangle. Yeah. What else? I think that's the main things. Yeah.
Richie, what about you? What you had on?
Ooh,
music.
Finally, I mean, Christ, I'm old now, but finally I checked out Genesis.
Oh, good new band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all of Genesis, their entire discography, because that's fucking huge.
No, just sporadic tracks. Trying to take things back to the beginning, you know. And I've obviously I've heard all the hits that they had with Phil Collins at the helm, but I've never heard a single Peter Gabriel era Genesis song. So I thought I'd just pick a few through streaming and check them out. maybe I'm just not. Well, I'm old. Maybe I'm just not old enough to accept it. I can't get it yet. But then again, it, when it comes to 70s progressive rock acts, I do really like ELP, and it took me several listens to get into that. Several listens. Another thing I did is I revisited the Ripper Owens era of Judas Priest.
Which one? Or which one?
Both or
just Jugulator for now. Unfortunately, my copy of Demolition seems to have gone walkies. And Priest seem to have written those albums out of their back catalogue.
Yeah, they're deleted.
Yeah.
Have they?
You can't buy them. Not new, anyway.
Oh, here we go. We no longer have a time limit. Excellent. You cannot buy them. You cannot stream them. You have to troll the second-hand market if you want to acquire the Ripper Owens from Judas Priest.
Because what did they do? They did two, didn't they? They did Jugulator Demolition as the live one. There was two live ones as well, at London and the other.
Live Meltdown 98.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bloody good, that.
Yeah, I think they were.
What's the
I love it.
Songs detuned to try and sound modern and or playing them a lot more faster and aggressive than they've previously done it. That's got a lot of energy, that live album. Plus, you got that machine Scott Travis at the back as well.
I struggle a bit with Demolition, but Jugulator, that's a good album.
It is.
It's kind of overlooked.
No, I think he's great. I like it. I prefer him. Probably still, I think. I don't know. I just I prefer him over I won't say I prefer him in Priest over Halford, but I just like him. I think he's cool. I never think he's found the right band, really.
No.
Yeah, honest. He did that thing, didn't he? Did you ever see that thing that he did with the Roadrunner thing when he sang with Annihilator? My mate Jeff. Hi, Jeff. I'll be watching. Got two of your guitars. He did Alice in Hell, and it was just like, you should be with Annihilator. That band should be with Annihilator. Yeah. It was good. He did Ice Turf as well, didn't he? And that was
That's a great album, and for some reason it gets the shit ripped out of it. That Ice Turf album Ripper did.
We did two, didn't he? He did Glorious Burden, which I think's ace. Then he did that first Framing Armageddon. Yeah. I like. It's bit long, but I like it.
Yeah, it's a bit meandering, you know.
Yeah, he did his solo album, which is shit. Burn that. If you need a really, Richard, you can have that.
I saw him front Yngwie Malmsteen's band.
Oh yeah, he did that. He got that new one as well. That's that fire thing on Spirits of Fire.
Yeah, the one of those fucking.
Yeah, that's a good album. That really good.
Like a Frontiers album, isn't it? Where they're just.
Yeah, it's really, really good. They're doing a second one. That's a good one. That he's never found himself, because I saw him on that. What was it? That tour that he was on. That he did a gig with them with the Three Tenors.
Oh, okay.
That was awful.
I'm looking forward to hearing the KK's Priest thing, but it's not really going to propel him up into the upper echelons of stardom, you know.
He's probably beyond doing that now anyway. I think he's just sort of quite happy doing his thing.
Yeah, he should.
I'm interested to hear that Priest thing. That'll be good.
Yeah, I'm weirdly looking more forward to hearing KK's Priest than I am to hear the new actual Priest album.
Well, you know what the new actual Priest album is going to sound like. The most recent actual Priest album. It's just going to be they've hit something that wins. They're just going to keep.
Yeah, it's going to be all Faulkner riffs and a really dense Andy Sneap production.
You know, it's funny, right? I got a copy of. I remember because I got into Priest and I started getting I didn't have all of it, but I got some of it. I'll fully admit the first Priest I ever got was actually Ripper. Right. Into it. And then, you know, when they show the bits on like on download of TV, and I hadn't gone and Priest live, and it showed a track off Nostradamus. I was like, God, this song is amazing! And I bought the album, bought the limited. It's up there. It's up there. You can't. Music Magpie don't even want it. Now we've got enough. They
give you a fiver to keep it.
Yeah. We've got enough. We're still trying to sell that song about Loch Ness that they wrote.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was a bad one.
There's some bad stuff going on then.
Yeah.
I'm a ropey.
Is that it, Richie? Anything beyond Priest?
Nah, not really.
That was what the day there.
Dramatic.
I've been at work this week. You know, it's been. Gotta admit, I do like a bit of radio too in the afternoon.
Why?
Why?
Aye, why?
Good
Tony
variety.
Blackburn's still on it.
No, it's Steve Wright.
God, really? Still?
Yeah, it's Steve Wright in the afternoon on radio too. It's mostly pop music, but real pop music. You know, proper bands playing pop music. Not processed bloody cow factory crap. You know what I'm saying?
Fair play. I'll not give it a try, but fair play.
That brings us round to me, I guess. What have I had on?
Saxon the other week.
What, on radio too?
Yep, Ride Like the Wind.
Oh, shouldn't.
Right, what the fuck have I had on? I listened to Vandenberg's first album. Quite a bit.
That's come up on my... there seems to be a Vandenberg theme happening this week.
Oh, they've relaunched, or he's relaunched the band. So there's a new...
They're doing Winterstorm this year.
Yeah, a new album. I don't know if it's out yet, the new album. I've certainly not heard it. But
Is it called 2020?
I don't know.
There's got an album called 2020, so it'd be stupid if it wasn't the new one.
All I know is I was playing the fucking old one.
Oh.
The new one's got that guy from Rainbow, Ronnie Romero, the singer.
Oh, yeah. Little fella, yeah.
So he's clearly the new flavour of the month singer for hire.
Mr. Frontiers.
So
we need a singer on Frontiers. Hey, Ronnie, he'll do it.
This is what's going to happen. He's going to be the new Michael Sweet.
Yeah. Hey, whoa.
Yep, there we go.
Fucking whoa, man. All right. No, you pushed it there. Don't knock Michael Sweet.
I know, we've got another fucking Striper fan.
We did a whole episode ripping him, so yeah, that ship sailed.
He's off to get his cross. For those of you listening, Dan's rummaging in the dark reaches of...
In his drawers.
In his drawers, yeah.
Cracking album.
That's
I'll get the rest out. Okay. I'll admit it. I've got every single Michael Sweet solo album and limited versions. Everything.
I don't get this thing. I don't get this.
Any of you lot got a problem, I'll fucking take you on for Michael Sweet. Right. Man.
The power of Christ will
save
you.
Soldiers in God's command.
Honestly, I kid you not, right? I did it by accident. I think I got pissed one night, and you know when you watch it was one of the American festivals. He was on there. He was like, "Oh, this is a bit weird." And watching that, I'm not buying this God stuff. And then I bought his solo album that came out. This one-sided war, one-sided whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing album. I thought, I'll get a Striper album. I won't tell people. And then that was it. I was hooked. Honestly, and they're brilliant. He's solo, apart from the last solo, and that was shit. And if he's listening, get rid of it. Put it there with like some of the Priest stuff that's crap. It's a bad album. I think he's great.
If he's listening, do not go back and watch episode 1.
His problem is though what he does, right? He's the last Striper album, excellent. I'll go get that if you want to get it. If you want to borrow it, I'll send it to you. Really good. I've got his autobiography as well. Everyone dies. Kid you not, right? His problem is he tries to write too quick. He's at a stage in his life now where he's coming up with great stuff, but he tries to do too much. Did the first Lynch and Sweet and Lynch album or whatever it was, brilliant. Second one, bag of shit. Album.
Well,
and like he kept getting better, but this last solo album was too rushed.
As much as I love George, he has a tendency to over produce the same albums, you know.
Shit.
First one's always good, and then it's just a bit like...
Yeah, no, he does. That's his problem. The first Lynch and Sweet I thought was excellent. The second one was just, Again, Music Magpie doesn't want it.
I've been enjoying. I liked KXM that Lynch did, but again, I had the same kind of issue with that, where the first album's good, second one still good, but it's not quite as good, and then there's a third one. I just know it's going to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been this is the first official tangent of the episode. So we've gone from Vandenberg to George Lynch now somehow.
Michael Sweet.
Yeah. We're going to be.
The best thing about the Lynch Sweet thing was the interviews. The press interviews they did were just fucking brilliantly awkward.
George was basically
Lynch is just a grumpy old man. Sweet's giving it the old positive and he's power of Christ and stuff, and Lynch is like, fuck off. Literally sat next to him going, shut up, you prick. Brilliant. George Lynch for president.
The roid rage.
Allegedly. Not even allegedly. It's not been alleged. It's just you that said that, Stu. Whose opinions have nothing to do with Tantrum or Promethium.
Yeah. We're fine with God. We're fine with God.
My Vandenberg listen, because I'd never really sat and listened to this hugely. I've had this album for years, and I've played.
Is it just called Vandenberg?
Yeah. So
it's a good album, that.
Yeah, I played it. It's pretty good. I really enjoyed it.
That's good.
And then I went from that. I ended up listening to Slip of the Tongue by Whitesnake, just because I wanted to hear more Adrian Vandenberg. And I have a live album from the '87 tour with him and Vivian Campbell doing their shit. And
he'd be good if we were an underrated musician conversation.
Well, that might come up later. You never know.
If we were to do such a conversation.
I always, anybody's read they've read the thumbnail. They know what the fuck they're getting today. So yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. Vivian Campbell then led me on to listening to Holy Diver and the second album, Last in Line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped. I didn't go into Sacred Heart because I don't like it as much.
I like Sacred Heart.
It's okay. I don't think it's a shit album, but it's, again, for me, it's a bit of a dip from the first two. In fact, I think the second one's a slight dip from the first one.
Yeah, but anything would be a slight dip from that. Yeah, you're not going to fucking beat Holy Diver. Like, you make that record and that's you fucked, really.
We're getting quite awkward now, aren't we? So I'm going to say I prefer Sacred Heart over Holy Diver.
Oh,
we'll try to be controversial.
We'll come back to that later, I'm sure, in the episode. I moved on from there I continued last week's Tigers of Pantang kick with the Live in Nottingham 1981 album.
Last week and the week before.
No, I only got that this week, so.
No, but your general Tigers kick.
Yeah, that's been an enduring one currently. I'm enjoying the Tigers of Pantang. But that 81 Live album's got John Sykes in it, and it's fucking great.
That's next on my list, that one.
Yeah, it's been remastered and remixed, and because I think it was an original version and maybe back in the day, and it pretty much tanked a bit. If it even came out at all, I know at some point somebody listened to it in the band and said that's not very good, and they kind of shelved it for a bit. But it's been remixed and it's good by Soren Anderson, who has been a kind of Glenn Hughes affiliate for a while.
Soren Anderson, he's done loads. I recognise that name.
Yeah, he's a YouTube guy and all kinds of stuff, guitar player. You've seen him. But yeah, he's done a bunch of stuff. He's a good fella.
Sounds Swedish. If he is, it'll be good.
He is. He's certainly over the water there. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what part of Scandinavia he's from, but he's in that general area.
Our northern brethren.
Indeed.
Hello.
I don't know if I've listened to anything else, to be honest. I think that's been about it. I've been working, so busy, But that's plenty. I did have that kind of weird thought when I was, and this will probably lead us into the next conversation a bit, but with the Adrian Vandenberg thing, how it's always like kind of sad and weird that Adrian never, despite the fact how long he was in Whitesnake, he never really actually got to make an album with Whitesnake.
That's mental.
I like it
for years.
I like it in Slip of the Tongue though, where he says, Adrian Vandenberg did not play.
Yeah,
you can imagine though. Seriously though, do you not think that the live DVD, the Donington one?
Yeah.
Just to see you're playing fucking Donington, you're just like, yes. You psyched yourself up. You've had your drugs. You're ready, and then you go, yeah. And just so you know, Steve Vai's playing me as well. You imagine having that conversation. So what solos? So you're doing that solo, right? Okay, I wrote that song, but yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
You get a full solo song as well too, do you? Brilliant. Yeah, great.
I know, like
hired hand.
He played on Restless Heart, but like even Whitesnake sort of ignore that album ever happened.
Is that
I like
one?
it. And he did the acoustic. Yeah, the acoustic.
Restless in Tokyo, Starkers in Tokyo. Yeah,
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, so yeah. Restless Heart, it's a pretty good record, but it doesn't sound like a Whitesnake album. I think is kind of the issue there.
It says David covered out and Whitesnake.
Yeah.
It was a Tony Iommi Black Sabbath job, wasn't
it? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
So yeah, it's weird. Like Adrian's he never really got his moment to shine with Whitesnake, and neither did John Sykes.
True.
What I like though about Vandenberg, that last album he did, that Vandenberg Kings. I remember my mate was saying, because he sort of like knows him, he was like, "You've got to check it out." He said, "You know what's the most amazing? He's recorded it all analog. When you listen to it, you're like, to know that he's actually not digitally, he's done a solo and got to a point and then added another bit on. You know, it's analog. There you go. Do your solo, you got your one take." And I think that's brilliant. And it's a cracking sounding album. That.
It was a good album. That I was kind of disappointed when he folded the band and said I was going to go back to Vandenberg, because you just thought you were, nobody really cared that Vandenberg came back. They weren't big enough at the beginning, No,
that was the problem on it.
Yeah, they were kind of they were
what a journeyman.
They were somewhat underrated.
Interesting stuff. Who else is underrated?
Yes.
Let's find out.
That's the question of the day. Although I think we should probably we'll do the introduction to Dan here. I think before we get too in depth, let's give our guest.
We've not just dragged him in off the street. Even though he does look a bit like we have.
Hey. Yeah, all right. Okay. I know. I'm not looking my best. I don't look as pretty.
So Dan here is the guitar player in Promethium, who, if you don't know, and you should know, we were supposed to be doing some tour days with in April, and sadly that did not happen because the world went mad.
Yeah. I'm more mad at the fact how long it fucking took to get it all sorted. Can you do that date? Can you do that date? Can you? Yes!
But
the whole world
kidding me.
No!
It will not happen. It will not happen.
The fun thing is we get to do all that again.
Yeah, that's great. Can you do that date? No. Right. Why not?
So, right, well, we'll keep it nice and informal and stuff. Just give us the potted history of yourself and Promethium and anything else you want to tell us. Just how did you start? Give us the full bio-y thing.
I put this. I was in another band that was like 80s, and I was really into my winger phase. When you realise you're not Steve Vai, and then you listen to Winger and you go, I want to be into Winger, when no one else is into Winger at that phase.
Red Beach.
Listen to Winger. They're brilliant. No, we're listening to Nirvana. No, listen to Winger. And then it was sort of phasing out, and I started writing some stuff that was getting heavy, and I thought, I'm just going to do a project, just do a recording project. It turned into a group, and like we've been going, I don't know, I think it's 12 years now. So it's been going good. We've had quite a few. I always say it was any band. You have quite a few lineup changes, like a roundabout, like Snake, and that's it. But me and Rossi have always been there. The other guitarist. We've got Steve back, who was the original singer. So we've done 4 albums. We're just done with. We're working at the moment on 3, which is really cool. So we've got another acoustic album due out. We've got the Anniversary, which is supposed to be out this year. The first album remix, remastered with some bonus stuff on. And then the new album, which is like Five Finger Death Punch meets Winger, meets Whitesnake. Really,
fucking sell it, Dan. Sell it.
Yeah, it's fucking great. And we're a bit
Christian
rock on the top. Yeah. So it's cool. It's just like it's been one of them things where this year it was just like I put so much effort into getting all the gigs sorted, getting the studio time booked, getting the release date sorted. Then you're like, and the amount of conversations we just had about 3 days just to get it sorted, and then to name it, and you're just like, this, you're fucking kidding me. It's more work than anything. And it's like, And I think all of this boils down to when we all played at Wildfire and we all took a picture together and we all had black T-shirts, apart from me who had a pink T-shirt on. I think that's what started Coronavirus, all right? That was it. It was that pink T-shirt.
Cosmic upheaval. There's something went wrong in the universe at that moment.
Yeah, that was it. So it's just, so to be honest now at the moment, just writing, but everything's on hold. So other than writing and working from home, it's just eBay and looking at guitars.
Same as everyone, really.
You know, weirdly, we're probably all that guy at some point that was listening to Winger when Nirvana was happening, because I think we all came from the...
Oh, not Winger.
No, but like we were all kind of in the...
But I did draw Whitesnake logos on my jotters.
Yeah, we were all in the Wiggly Guitar Club when everybody else was wearing check shirts and moaning.
Yep.
You know, the funniest thing I had was I used to work at... when I left school, I worked at Boots. And besides, obviously, robbing the CDs, I was known for Boots here, you know. Like this. I found one day, this Kip Winger CD that was there. Someone had ordered. I was like, what's this? I just left it, didn't think. And then, you know, when you used to get Total Guitar and you'd have like 3 songs, all of a sudden there was Kip Winger on there from a solo. I thought, who's he? You read the little thing and it's, you know, I used to be in Winger and you check it out and it's trying to be all modern. I was like, this is all right, a bit weird, a bit sort of modern sound like this. And then I started looking into Winger and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, Kit Winger was playing in Wigan. Well, gonna go down that. And this is the worst thing, right? He was supporting Magnum. So
I like Magnum.
Yeah, this is right. This is the best bit. I went down to watch Winger, right? And it was the most amazing gig ever. It was just like, guy was there, packed out, you know, there's probably a couple hundred people, 12-string acoustic guitar. He owned it. He was just like that. You know what? He could have said to you, drop your pants. You would have done. It's that amazing. And afterwards, he like finishes, and I'm like, I've got to find him because you know you could. It was those gigs, you know, where you could go and see the person. I've got my disposable camera, you know, to get a picture with him. Like, where is he? And then I saw my dad. My dad said he went over there before, so I'm sort of looking, go to the toilet, and like that. Sorry. My dad come back, and my dad's like all like, yeah, I really enjoyed that, but it's time to go now. You know, we'll go if you want. I'm like, yeah, I'm not bothered about seeing Magnum. So I didn't watch Magnum, went home, went to work the next day, getting this disposable camera. So, a couple of pictures that I took. There's a guy's shoulder. Who's that with me? Why's my dad got a selfie with Kit Winger? Why's my dad selfie with Kit Winger? Why's my dad holding Kit Winger's guitar? Dad? Oh, you didn't want to tell me, did you? You bastard. So that was it. And then I just got into them. I loved them. And then from that, found Dokken.
There you go. You fixed it now.
Aye.
Fucking Winger.
But again, I went to see Dokken. I've seen them a couple of times, and I went to see them on the Long Road Home or whatever that album was, at the place in Liverpool, the Cavern. There was 12 people there.
Wow. And
it was, apart from the fact he couldn't sing, John Norum on guitar, just an amazing gig, unbelievable. And I ended up there, got a picture with Don Dokken and his wig, and he was.
was that awesome. when he
allegedly
fucked his throat?
Yeah, well, he couldn't sing. He came off, and you know, like there, and you're like, oh, this isn't great. This isn't great. And then, right, about 2 years later, no, it was about 3 years later, they did that Lightning Strikes album, awesome album.
Yeah, that's good.
And they had John Levin then.
John Levin.
And Bradford Rio. So I went down to Bradford Rio's, busy, like really, really cool. And again, it was one of them ones where you could sort of sneak backstage, and I knew people there, so I was like, I'll go upstairs. So I go upstairs, and there's Mick Brown sort of getting naked, and you know, there's there, and Don Dokken's having this argument with this biker who's built like a brick shithouse. And he's gonna like obviously rip his throat out because he's like come on to his girl, right? And I'm just like,
come on, no.
Yeah, can I get a selfie? Can I get no? I better not. And a fight breaks out. This guy beats the shit out of Don Dokken. It was great. It was and I've got a picture of it.
Wow. You're not going to buy that in the official merchandise stand.
No, you know. However, I did buy the Don Dokken album, and no one needs to buy that.
Steve's taking us on a wee adventure around his house here.
You run.
Just going for more beer.
Product placement.
So yeah, Dokken, that led you into metal.
Annihilator.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was it. And then I've got a big wide platter. I love my 80s shit. I do. I get my Frontier stuff still. Love that. But then you start finding the heavier stuff, and that was it. And that was it. Found Annihilator, and I was home. That was Promethium. I just ripped him off.
So when did Promethium actually start? 12 years ago, you say?
It was 2007, 2008 or so. That was it. So we just did that. Did a 4-track EP. Then we sort of like put that around. Just like as the internet was starting to sort of do review things, got a bit of traction. Got quite a lot of play in America on stations, and you're like, how'd you do that? That was like and then we ended up sort of like then signing a deal for the first album. Did that. Got ripped off as usual. Got it everywhere. That was just like, as soon as that album came out, it was like everywhere. It was unbelievable. It was great. It was on all the stations. It was cool. You're having people contacting you. It was great. And then the second album, we signed a new deal for the second album, and that album. Then the problem was, I enjoyed it and I was happy, and then literally the day it came out, the day before, it got leaked, and it was just like, you're there and you're thinking, you what? And it's everywhere. You're thinking, how can it be everywhere when it's not? How's that happened? And that was it. The second album to me, even though there's some great songs on there, just gutted me. I was like, gutted. So it sort of did well, but it didn't do anywhere as well as the first album. So that was it. We said, right, sod it, starting our own label, doing it ourselves. Now we sell more records, make more money by doing it ourselves, done our own distribution, got our own label. Best thing we could have ever done. That was it. That was it. You know, you're the person, you know, if you ever mess up, that's your fault, but you sort of learn from it. That's the best thing we ever did, completely. That was it. So yeah, fuck the labels. Load.
We keep talking about this now, don't we? Like, DIY is the way to go currently.
Oh god, yeah.
It's the only way just now.
Totally. A lot of people they go on about, well, you know, you know how easy it is to sort distribution. It's 2 minutes. That's it. We're sorry.
It's just sending CDs to people. That's all it is.
Yeah. Literally, we have a distributor. Yeah. Well, that's it. You know, we do stuff ourselves. We have it on all the shops. You get it everywhere, you know, and it's like, you know, it's brilliant. It's dead easy. It's great. It's the best thing you can do. Because all you're doing other than you're just cutting the middleman out.
Everybody in our kind of peer group who's signed to a label just hasn't done very well. You know, they've all come out of it going, well, that was shit.
Well, put it this way, right? We did. So I won't get into numbers, right? But we did enough from Faces of War, third album. I nearly picked up the background. Right, we did enough from that to pay for the next two albums, done dusted. That was it. Whereas before, you were like, when are you sending the money? How's this going to be? How's that going to be? And that was it. Do you know what I mean? And no, can't complain of doing it that. And you're keeping everything in-house. So it's the best way forward, definitely.
We speak about this all the time. I think like the whole thing about getting signed, it's a fucking vanity thing, isn't it? It's just so you can say, oh, we've got a record label. It doesn't mean fuck all anymore. Like, your label's not going to give you, there's no label now who's going to go, there's 10 grand, lads. Off you go, make a record, buy some drugs, and have a good time. Pop a little record on, we'll get in the top 5 for you.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Which label's that? I'm suddenly interested.
Them days are long gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're gone with Winger. You need to fucking put the graft in. I think that's what people think, is they're going to get this magic little signature on a bit of paper, and all of a sudden they don't have to do anything except write songs.
Yeah, it's amazing that people are still clinging on to this dream of, if I get signed, I will get big and make it. It's like, no, you won't.
I mean, the funniest thing is, right, so we did, the other year, we did first time in Belgium, and we got Belgium fans that, you know, had bought CDs before, found us from MySpace. Do you remember MySpace? Hi, Tom. And we'd done that. We'd done a couple of festivals over here that they'd come to. and then we got offered to go over there. We went over there, and I kid you not, in the first time 3 gigs over there, made more than 3 gigs, and that's including travel, accommodation, than we did in 10 over here. You've got people there at the merch that are wanting everything signed. They're wanting, 2 of everything. Wanting the picture with everyone in the band. It got to the last night where we'd finished the gig and Rossi's in the van. I'm like, mate, listen, someone wants a picture. I'm fucking sick of taking pictures. I can't. I don't want to smile, and I don't smile. And you're just like, no. But there's a market for it. There's no doubt there's a market. It's just fucking, he's been asked to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard graft, isn't it?
Yeah.
10% inspiration, 90% perspiration.
Exactly.
That's what it is, man.
So that takes us up to album number 3.
Yeah, and then after that, after we this was the funny bit, because we named the album, we called it Faces of War. We did this album that I don't remember the conversation, and it turns out that I'd said, let's do a concept album. I just thought it was a good name. I didn't know that we were doing a concept. I must have said it and didn't realize. So we did it. We did a concept album, which we'll never do again because it was painful. Did well. We did really cool. It was ace. And then we did this acoustic gig for SOS Festival. We got asked to do it. I'm like, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah. About 2 days before, we're like, better rehearse for this and just try it. And you're like, shit, this is actually quite hard.
Yeah.
So, it was just like, whoa. First of all, I've not played acoustic guitar for quite a while. You can't hide behind your stack and your effects. This is a bit panicking. So we had to redo the songs, did this gig, great gig. And the first thing people said afterwards, when's your CD coming out? I was like, all right, yeah, I didn't think of that. And so that was it. So we just did it. And that's done well. That's done really good. And we've done a lot of acoustic gigs at festivals. And it's quite cool that you do it. And all of a sudden, you're to a different market then. It was just like, we did one festival, which is a metal festival. We did acoustic. And then all of a sudden people are going, oh, you've got electric albums? Yeah, all right. I mean, well, and it was great. It was brilliant. So it's totally worth doing. It opens it up.
We talked about doing it some point back in the day and just never actually got around to trying it.
That was like before the first album came out.
Was it back then?
Yeah, it was fucking. Nah, I don't want to do it.
To be honest, I don't even have the equipment to do it currently, so I'd have to buy something which would require an investment.
Yeah, I own an acoustic guitar. I think mice live in it.
I never pick mine up. Never.
You're too busy going, I've just bought this to adjust this guitar and do this, and I've bought this new part.
Yep.
Picture of it. Look at me. I'm Stu.
For the Instagram.
I know, yeah.
It's all about the IG, kids.
Yeah, sexy Stu.
Doing it for the gram, baby, for the gram.
Yeah.
Not the grams.
I've not advanced.
That's the thing is, I was going to say the thing is the amount of times, kid you not, and my missus will come in. She'll go, "You looking at porn?" Like, no, I'm messaging Stu just about guitar. Don't believe you. Look, there you go. And she accepts it.
And she's like, I wish you were looking at porn. That would be like.
Yeah, that's it. Why are you deleting your history? Nothing, no reason. Tell me your email account.
What actually happened, Dan? She comes in and goes, "Are you messaging Stu again?" And you go, "No, I'm looking at porn."
Yeah, no. The best thing is, right, and I kid you not, it was about 2 years ago. She said, "Can you nip out?" She said, I've got some stuff that I've missed from the shopping. I was like, fine, what do you want? I need, and it was just usual. It was like the simple thing: milk, eggs, and butter, something like that. And just like, yeah, all right, no problems. And get in the car, and just like, the phone goes, and it was mate. He's like, listen, you got any cash at the moment? I was like, yeah, I've got cash. Someone just turned up. I was like, what? He's like, there's a guy. He's got an Ace Frehley guitar, free pickup, Les Paul, unbelievable. I was like, I've wanted one of them for years. He goes, I know, that's why I'm calling you. He's skint, he's lost his job. I'm like, all right, how much? He goes, I think you could get it for 1,500 quid. I'm like, fucking hell, I'm there. Drove 2 hours out of the way, picked this guitar up, get back. So I'm like 5 hours, and you sort of walk back in there and you're like, it's a new guitar day. this is cool. This is good. You get down, you're like, damn, you open the latches. Where the fuck have you been? I nipped out. What's that? It's a guitar. Get the milk. That was it. Destroyed it. I was honest though. Then I went the way.
Have you still got
the fucking holiday?
Have you still got the Ace Frehley Les Paul?
I've still got the Ace Frehley Les Paul.
Nice. Let's see. You know how we talked about the George Lynch guitar at a gig or something? Bring the Ace Frehley as well.
I will. I've got the George is down there. I've got the George. I've got the Ace Frehley.
Just bring all your guitars, and we're going to try them all.
I know he's really bad because, kid you not, right? I think I'm up to about 30 or 40 now or something like that. And I use 3 of them. It's an obsession. That's it. I can't help it.
It is.
The problem is, it's an addiction. As soon as you buy one, you're thinking about your next. You're like, okay, and it is a proper addiction. I've been really good this year, but I'm struggling now. Proper struggle.
I was talking to Trevor from Haunt about this the other day when he was going to buy his Les Paul, and he was like, man, he was like, I've got like, I can't remember what he said, like 15 guitars or something. I just don't have the room, and I'm going to have to get rid of some. And I was like, no, you don't. What you need to do is just find more space in your house.
I know, that's the thing.
There's always the ceiling.
Throw some things out.
You know? If I can still see space on the walls, you've still got room for more guitars.
No, that's the thing. The bit I'm struggling at now, literally in the house, and I'm there. And I'm there. I've never even plugged that head in on the floor. I don't even know what it sounds like. I just wanted it. That was it. Traveled 10 hours out of the way to get it. Don't even know what it sounds like.
I've got a bit of an addiction for looking at amps just now. I really fancy a new amp.
It's a problem. It's a problem that guitar players have. Bass players don't have it. They have one.
Well, because you only need one. You barely even need a fucking bass. You need a bit of wood that you found in the garden with some cable, fucking the kind of cables you build bridges with. Just fucking strap them to it. Fucking put a pickup on it, plug it into a fucking old stereo, and that's all you fucking need.
Steve,
I blame the problem is I blame the Rob Chapman channels. You watch it and you see all those guitars behind you. You go, see, it's fine. He's married. He's got kids. He's allowed all those guitars. Then the wife goes, yeah, but he looks like your fucking dad. All right. Okay. Cool.
Rob Chapman, as if he hasn't had enough rough times over the last couple of months or so. Now he's Promethium fucking hassling him.
I know. It is funny, isn't it? It is. Because those videos...
Not for shaving the head though, Rob. You look better with the shaved head.
Yeah. The thing is that I do like... He does do some crap videos, but he does do some ace ones as well. And you suddenly watch his video and you go, I need one of those. It's like that Chapman guitar you've got. I don't need it, but I want it for some reason. And I'm not going to use it. I just want it. I don't even know why I'm asking you how it sounds. Because I'm never going to use it.
The world of YouTube gear videos is fucking lethal.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be allowed.
You do. No. You watch stuff and it's exactly that. You watch it and you think, I need one. I need that. He sounds better now that he's got one, so I need one as well.
The thing is, all sounds the fucking same. If you watch like all England is the worst. His channel when he like does it chug, all that stuff, it all sounds exactly the fucking same. It's like, how are we supposed to fucking like? None of it's real. Like they never give you a video of you like in your kitchen with it plugged in. It's always like it's going through this DAW and it's going through this and it's like being processed and you've mastered it and you've made it sound fucking good.
Yeah.
I had the funniest one. I was watching that. I really enjoy. You ever watch that Paul Hennings channel?
Yeah, I used to like him.
I do like him because what I like about him, sometimes he does shit, but sometimes he does these reviews because he's got all these amps. You get to hear what each thing, and you go, "Ooh, yeah." And I'll fully admit, I bought a couple of pedals because of him. We had this thing, and he was just like, he was using these guitars, McMull guitars, and I was like, "Ooh, this is." Don't need one of these. It's a Telecaster. I don't need it. It sounds good. Oh my God. Now, I could use this. I'm not going to use it live because it's not a V, but I could use it on that one bit on a song that I'm never going to play live, but I'd get that tone or could layer it. And that's it. And you got it in your head then. And then, of course, you go online, can't get them. And then you suddenly find, just by chance, there's a shop There's a shop in Kent. I'm at Kent next week for work. Let me go in, and it doesn't matter if it's a $4,000 guitar. And I went into this shop, and this shop was one of them ones that you have to call them first for them to, to pre-book an appointment. So Jesus in a suit, for work. How you doing? You all right, mate? And looking at who the fuck is this? I'm like, I'm Jesus in a suit. Don't worry, I've got money. Here's a card. There you go. I'm not messing around. And then they lock the fucking door. You walk in, they lock the door, and you're thinking, all right, it's a sales pitch. They've locked the door. You're in there. They give you this $5,000 guitar when you wanted to look at the $3,000 one. How good does it get? It does sound good. Should we get it ready for you now? Where's the fucking key to the door? I want to go. let me just nip to the bank. Let me transfer some money. We've got a laptop here. No, let me just nip to Lloyd's is over there. I fucking ran. Buy the guitar. I just wanted to have a look. But that shop, when you go up to $5,000 guitars, you fuck then. It's still what I'm going to go back, try the other one out.
It's the old adage, isn't it? If you have to ask the price, then you can't afford it.
Well, exactly. That's it. I had 2 guitars that I've been working on at the moment that I was going to get before lockdown. Because of lockdown, I was like, nah, I'm going to leave it. Both have fallen through, and I'm fucking gutted about it. Didn't need them, just wanted them. Not going to use them.
How many times, Steve, have we had that discussion about, like, we could get this guitar?
Those discussions stopped me buying guitars.
And it's always the same. It's always the same thing, isn't it? I'm never going to use it live, but we could totally use that in the studio.
No, that was the thing though. The last time I went to the studio, I bought an EV. I bought one of the Eddie Van Halen heads that I'd got. This guy had literally bought this whole stack, died a day later, and then his wife was selling it, and it was like £2,000 at the time. And I feel awful, but I got it for like £700.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, I'll travel to Leeds and get it. All right. And you got it. I got this custom Dave Mustaine ESP DV8 that you couldn't get hold of. Yeah, this is great. Got all these new pedals. Went into the studio and you're just there and you're playing around. You're like, this is amazing. And then all of a sudden you go, what did you use last time? Oh, I just used that Flying V and that Mode 4 head. Let's just try that. That sounds good, doesn't it? Do I just move that 20 grand's worth of stuff to the side and we'll just use what we used a couple of years ago? Is that right?
Yeah. It always comes back to the old faithful stuff.
Yeah, it does though. It does. I kid you not, the last album, I took down 8 guitars, 3 amps. I used the same amp and 1 guitar and then one other one for clean. That was it. But it looked cool. I've got pictures of like all the Flying V's lined up.
Go for the IG.
Yeah.
We did, I think on our last record, we did manage to use all the guitars that we brought in. I think at least got something. There's tiny bit of everything on there. But then, again, most of it's pretty much just like one guitar each, really. Your Les Paul and my Les Paul through a Marshall and a Tube Screamer. That's pretty much it.
All you really need. What you need is alcoholics, when they're going through AA, they've got a sponsor. You need to get a sponsor. Stu's my sponsor.
That's the thing. I kid you not. The worst person for it is my good friend Henry used to play in the group. We go to the guitar shows together, and he's a shit. He's the worst person you can go with because all he wants to do is he wants to go and he wants to literally push it. Just one sec. I'm doing an interview. I'll call you back. All right. Bye.
That's so.
Just got a text off him. Just so you know, the text says, "All right, mum dropping off some spaghetti bolognese." I'm 41. Shit. 41. I'm married. What do I need spaghetti bolognese for? Who's dropping off a fucking Gibson? I'd be happy. It's all because I gave him a fucking job on a master CD. But yeah, so Henry goes with us to these guitar shows, and you go, and there's the snobby people that sort of go. They go. They proper go to these ones, you know.
The tone police.
Yeah. And we went, and there was a Flying V that was there. That was after one of these 80s ones that I've got, never use it. And I was like, don't need that. But and you kept going around, you kept coming back to it. And he's like, you should ask him how much it is. I said, well, I'm not paying 1,200 quid. And the guy goes, "Are you interested?" I went, "Nah, not 1,200, not 12." And he goes, "Well, what do you think?" And I went, "I don't know." Hey. Yeah, okay. Oh shit.
Bastard.
And the worst thing was, he takes a picture and then live streams it. My wife is actually out that day with the kids and her parents, suddenly looking at this, going, "All right, right." So we couldn't get that new kettle and microwave, but we just bought an £800 Flying V. And as soon as they got home, my lad walked into here and he was like, "You're in trouble." So
the Flying V will pay for itself. Dan,
yeah, we did. I sold it. I sold it. Never used it.
I'm now hating you because, and now like you've just reignited. I know as soon as this is finished, I'm going to be straight on a reverb looking at fucking Flying Vs.
I can't help it. It's an addiction.
I want a Flying V.
And kid you not, I did it by accident. I'd always used Charvels. I was obsessed with Charvels. That was it. And I got a Flying V. Again, someone died, and it was like, "Do you want this Gibson Flying V?" So I was like, "Go on." Got it. And you're like, "Oh my God." And the thing about it is, I always think it's like this. You've got your trebly Strat, got your Les Paul, and the Flying V just cuts through. It just cuts through, and it does everything. And people like it balancing and this. I've never felt a guitar more comfortable than ever. Sat down with it, you balance it, it's on your things. It's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, you do the classical thing. You put it between your legs.
Yeah, it's great. Great. I just love it. It's like that. All right, yeah, just bang that. It's there. Between the knees, there you go. Look at that.
It's the most comfortable. Like I would say a Les Paul is more uncomfortable than a V.
Yeah, exactly, because you like that. And this, you sat there, you got that. Reverb.com, eBay. You find, look at this now. I'm clicking, I'm bidding. I'm bidding. Playing, clicking, bidding. Look.
Hooked it, backed it, fucked off.
Yeah.
I am proper liking just now the Gibson 70s tribute.
Bless you. Bless you again.
I'm enjoying the 70s Gibson tribute Flying V they've got out just now, the white one. The only main thing is why, like, I mean,
they fucked the headstock.
Yeah, what's up with the headstock? Why are they not giving us the proper 70s headstock? That's
if you're going to do a 70s tribute, do a 70s tribute.
No, exactly.
We've gone down a rabbit hole here, folks.
This is unacceptable from Gibson. We're not having this. I have bought a lot of your guitars, Gibson. Fucking sort that out.
Mr. Mark Agnesi. All right. We spent hours watching you on Norman's Rare Guitars. Now listen to us.
Play original.
We're not happy.
If it's play original, build original. You know.
Yeah.
Don't
bring back Ebony. Bring back Ebony. We want Ebony.
And white SGs. I want one of those as well. So sort that shit out.
Yeah. See, the problem is now you're already thinking about two that you want. This is the AA guitar problem.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Serious. My search history, there's like 4 things I'm looking for. I'm never going to use them, but there's 4 things. That's it. As soon as you've got one of the 4, you're like, right, I need to add another one now. So there's another 4 I'm looking. I've got a list. I've actually got, word of a lie, I've got a fucking list. I've got a list of the stuff I'm after, right? No, seriously, right? I'm after Gibson free pickup SG, JD SG, okay? Chapman, I've crossed that out now. Crossed that out. There was 4 Chapman after. I've crossed all of them out, okay? Crossed out Ace Frehley. That's crossed out there. And that's it. That's it. And doing it. I even put, and God knows why, put Tom Schultz Gibson down. Ooh.
Richie just woke up.
Yeah. That was it. That was it. I saw it and I was like, I'm curious. That'd be good for recording.
I take it. Tom Schultz one will be like a Gibson collector's choice. So I hope you've got.
Yeah.
Here,
collector's choice number 5, I believe.
Ooh. Yeah.
I think it's about 13 grand or something.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I just saw it. I was like, I need that. I don't. For some reason, I'm not gonna. I'll use it for recording. I'll use it for that one bit. It's that Boston bit that we're going to pull down in the mix and not actually use.
I have totally justified in my mind how I can, with no qualms, walk into a shop one day and buy a 59, 58 reissue like a 10 grand Les Paul burst, and as far as I've settled in my mind that I can justify spending that amount of money on one guitar.
Kid you not, I went to it was, where was it at? It was when I was in London. I'd gone to onto that street in London.
Wardour Street,
Denmark.
Denmark Street.
Gone in there, and I'd gone to look. I'd got a friend of mine had written this guitar book that was great, and he'd done all these collections. You've got to check out Denmark Street. I was like, right, have a look, and you go, and the prices are ridiculous. You know, they just are. And all of a sudden, I see one of my mates there. I was like, I didn't know you worked here. He's like, yeah, how do you not know? I'm talking. And I would just talk, and I'd just been reading up all about the bursts and everything like that. 58, 59. I'm just talking about them. Yeah, watch Norman's rare guitars. I know my shit, mate. You know. He said, "We've got one. Do you want to have a look?" I was like, "Yeah, all right. Do you want to have a go?" Yeah. You know that bit where the untongue where you don't plug into the shop because you go, no, it's not my tone. It's not my tone. I won't plug it. I'll just play it unplugged. No, plug it in. No, I don't like that. They're gonna think I'm shit. Plugged it. He got this thing. Played this guitar, and I said, "How much was it?" And I think it was something like it was the London thing. It was like 350 grand.
That's like a pint in London, though. That's like a beer. That's a beer in London. That's really fucking cheap.
But I was there going, "You're joking? 350 grand for this? I've played reissues that are better than it." And you're just like, "No, not having that. Not having that. I'm paying that."
Yeah, I'm not going above $1,000 for a guitar, man. That's it. Above that, no.
Oh, is the wife in the room? Got you? Yeah. You don't need. You're in the safe zone with the friends.
It's a safe place.
Yeah.
To discuss your problems.
Yeah. No, it's going to happen.
We have gone so fucking far off topic now. We don't even know. We haven't even talked about the topic, Neil. We haven't started it yet.
We've just tangented. It's what we do now.
It is what we do now.
Right, Steve, you can introduce this week's topic.
I don't know what it is. I've forgotten.
You formulated it. I can't even say
I did. Right, so what we're talking about this week is, and this is a very last minute thing, so we're going to just wing this, which isn't like us. We're normally so well prepared, and we have everything written out and time scales because time is money. So this week we're talking about underrated musicians or undervalued musicians. So people that have not really been appreciated for their contribution in our eyes. Does that sound fair? Is that about right?
That's fair enough, and we'll just throw this open to the world, so you can pretty much chuck anybody in because there isn't really any rules.
Yeah, we've got no structure here. Dan's got a structure, which is remarkable.
When he emailed me 2 hours ago. I was like, "Listen, I'll do this. I'll write a list."
Dan's keen as mustard. He wants a place in the podcast.
Fucking hell, I was professional.
This is an audition date.
We're supposed to be watching Taken 3 with a wife, and I was like, I'm going to talk to my Tantrum lads. More important.
Let's give you a big step up for your career.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, well, no, I'll tell you what, right? I've got a good one for starting. Okay.
Hit us, Dan.
Ready for this? Okay. So we're classing them as underrated.
Yeah. And you can justify your comments.
Okay. No. I'm going to give you one now. That the one person in my eyes is totally underrated, and some people will never heard. And I think I'm pretty sure Stu's okay here, so I think we'll get some good feedback. All right. Chris Olivia.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I like Sabotage, yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Don't do that. Chris, totally. I think you ever watch Chris Olivia, and Sabotage isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I love them. I think they're fucking great. Every single Sabotage, I've got every single solo album off all of them. So much shit. But he is one of the most underrated players, and I think he's one of the most beautiful players ever. I think he's soloing, his talent, unbelievable. And I think he's one of these ones where if he'd have done a next album, it'd be like, how could he have topped what he'd done? And I think the problem was they had such at that point, there was production that was like here, and a few years later, production was going to go here. and I'd just be interested, especially with what they're doing now with the what's that thing, that traveling thing that they have in America that Sabotage is part of now, the orchestra thing there.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah. God, that's bad, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't prepare on that. But for him to be playing that, that'd be amazing. That'd be like, and to me, I think he's excellent. But what was interesting,
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
That's well done. You just Googled it, didn't you?
No, fucking didn't.
All right. However,
Phone is still dark.
This then leads on to another thing. The guy then who sort of took over from him, who I do love, Chris Caffery, great guitar player, but basically had to adopt his style to be a clone of Chris Olivier.
Am I right in saying, is there some sort of connection between Sabotage and Nevermore? Am I getting confused here?
No, Nevermore did tour with them, didn't they? Yeah. Nevermore
it was a crossover with Members.
No. No. Oh, well done.
Cancel that.
Well done.
Sorry, I was trying to join in.
That was.
Yeah, he played on a Whitesnake album.
Yeah.
But Joel Hoekstra did, who was in Trans-Siberian Orchestra, so there's a link.
Well, I thought that was a good one. All right. Well, that's fallen flat on its ass, right? So that was that.
No, it's a good one, Dan, because I don't really know. I need to go and look into Sabotage. I refuse to mention this, so I need to go.
Gutter Ballet, an Edge of Thought.
Where should I start? What album should I listen to?
Yeah. If you were going to listen to one Sabotage album to get it, I'd Gutter Ballet. Gutter Ballet. Yeah, stunning album. I'm going to come back going, Sabotage is shit.
One of those bands who didn't really... He just never...
Why didn't he make it? And why is he underrated? Why, like...
The problem they had it was two brothers, so they'd got, and this was quite an interesting thing. The thing that's nice about the Sabotage, you get the Sabotage back catalogue, you get the album, and there's like a 10-page booklet to read telling you about how the album was done, the problems they went through. And the problem that they had Chris's brother singing, John Oliver. Great singer, but it just didn't hit the mark for people. Didn't hit radio. Then when John left, and they got in Zach Stevens. Zach Stevens hit radio. And so John's now thinking, well, fuck this up because, like, I've held him back. He's still writing the music and he's playing keyboards in the background, but it's a case of the singer elevated it. Yeah, I love the John Olivier. He's great, but he was just one of them. But the problem was he was a big partier. And also they went through the problem they had. It's a bit like the Metallica thing. They got forced into doing albums they didn't want to do with the label. It screwed them, and they're just about dead. And then all of a sudden, the guy comes along that was Paul O'Neill, who did the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, produced them, and he suddenly was like, "Listen, you ain't this band. I've come to see you, and you are this band." And he records an album that makes them this production, and all of a sudden now they've gone from nearly destroying themselves to this, and that was it. And the problem is again, when it all fizzled out, Trans-Siberian Orchestra started, and they were basically playing Sabotage songs. But he was like, well, how can this be selling out every single year? You're even doing the UK and da-da-da-da-da. It's weird. Now, the bit that I thought was weird on this is they then did, about 2000, they played Wacken with my mate Jeff Waters, Annihilator. Guitars. He depped in playing guitar with them. They're on... your normal Promethium, Tantrum slot, 12 in the afternoon, 9 there.
If we're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky, yeah. Did that slot, and that was it. That was one of the last gigs they ever did. And then all of a sudden, 5 years ago, they get asked to reunite, and they headlined. And they did it over 2 stages with Sabotage on one stage and Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It was mismatched. It was fantastic. But it was like, so literally you've gone from barely playing to anyone to now being this because this Christmas orchestra thing's made people like the music one. It's like, what? Fucking kidding me. And that's one of them. That was one. So that's totally gone off track, and that wasn't even your question.
No, that works.
They were just one of those bands that was kind of like wrong place, wrong time. Just
totally.
timing just never quite worked out for them.
Yeah, totally.
That's that certain thing of luck that you sometimes need if you're going to make a kind of breakthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just didn't have it.
And I'll give you, I tell you what, I've got two others that are good as well, right? Chris Green. Chris Green, in my eyes, is the greatest guitar player in the world. Mate of mine.
You're going to have to enlighten me here.
Chris, right. So he plays guitar now in Taketo.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So
do you want to put some Taketo on?
Steve just walked out.
They're a really good band. Right. But right, Chris Green, right, he was in a group called Pride. They were like they were the same as the Winger thing. When Winger wasn't cool, Pride were going. And there was this weird thing, especially in the north, where there was an 80s circuit that was quite sort of small, and Pride used to support like Danger, you know, Taiketo. They supported Firehouse when they came on, and then all of a sudden, Pride turned around one day and were like, "Yeah, we need to change things." They became Furion.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, fair enough.
Furion, the album that he wrote, Gravitas. And they were one of these bands that they did a couple of EPs that, yeah, good. As soon as they got their producer, which was that, fucking hell, I forgot what his name is now. Producer, he was doing Shine Down, he was doing everything like that. He literally just elevated this sound. And they recorded, in my eyes, the greatest rock album ever. Gravitas it covers everything. There's rock, there's melody. It's a beautiful, beautiful album. Best guitar tones in the world. Yeah, it didn't do what it should have done. It didn't do at all. Did a second album, which the label, it sort of destroyed it. But he is one person that, well, on the 80s scene, he's massive. Plays in Taiketo, does solos everywhere. But he is one of the most gifted songwriters ever and gifted guitar players. So again, I've just totally gone off tangent and upset you with Taiketo.
No, that like Chris is another one of those guys. It was just like slightly at the wrong time. Which is probably something that's going to crop up a lot in here is like some people just come into a certain music scene too late to catch the wave, you know.
He's the thing that I like about him, and I've got a load of albums that he plays on. When you hear him and you know he's doing a solo on an album, you know him. And there's not many guitar players you can go, fucking hell, that's Chris. And you actually know he's solo. You know, it's like a Zakk Wylde thing. You know if Zakk Wylde's going to play in your album, you know it's going to fucking sound like.
Yeah.
You know, he'll just turn up, fucking turn his amp on, fucking done it. And you let him play the song where that's my solo, you use it. You know, that's it. And you know what it is, and that's him. But I've got one more, right? Okay. Jeff Waters.
You were going to say that.
my good mate, product placement. Again, one of the most gifted metal guitar players. Just never. He could have been in anyone, didn't focus on highlight, but again, one of the most underestimated.
Players. Annihilator never quite broke either. They were very
no.
kind of in the background, set up a band. Sadly.
Oh, they've done shit. I'm not going to deny it. They've done some crap albums. But it's one of them ones that, again, he could have been in. He could have been in Metallica. He could have been in Megadeth. He could have, you know, and that's it. And he's one of them players that, totally gifted. He just didn't.
He was nearly in Megadeth, wasn't he? That was
he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was totally for Megadeth for some time.
What era of Megadeth was he considered?
Was it not around like around So Far So Good So What, that kind of era? After that, I think it was around about that time.
Wasn't it? I think it was
before Marty.
So
there was a few guitar players rumored to be rumored to be replacing Marty Friedman at that time. To be replacing Jeff
Young.
Jeff Young.
That was it. Yeah.
Dimebag Darrell being one of them as well.
Yeah, Richie, it was that time. Yeah. Around about then, he was mentioned in the same breath.
Yeah.
So
Slash said he had a shot.
Slash and Megadeth.
Yeah, honestly, he did say, says at one point he nearly quit Guns N' Roses and joined Megadeth.
That's the thing, isn't it? That's it. There's so many. It's like, you know, it's like
what if?
All these people. You're like, God, how? Why are you not bigger? You know, it's like Jeff Loomis. You know, not a massive Nevermore, beyond gifted guitar player, but he's never quite done that sort of thing that that you'd expect him to sort of do.
Taking that second slot in Arch Enemy is a bit of a curse for a lot of guitar players.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, 110%.
But then again, if you're going to stand next to Michael Amott, then you need to be able to have the chops. But you're always going to look slightly less good next to him. Probably.
I'll tell you another good one. Actually, I'll leave it there. I've said it. Gus G. Amazing.
Oh, G.
Yeah.
Now you're talking Richie's language.
Aye, because he's my mate.
Amazing guitar player. I was into him when no one else knew about it. Just as the internet started, I was in America. I actually met him. I was like, that was it. And I was obsessed about every single album. And I liked what he was doing. He was in 4 bands at the time. Bought everything. Great. Gets the Aussie gig. Brilliant. Excellent. Yet you're still getting 20 people at a Firewind gig, you know.
Yeah.
The Aussie gig seemed to fucking kill him. It didn't seem to be a bit of a poison chalice, didn't it, really?
It didn't really do him a lot of favours, I don't think, the Aussie gig. Because that album wasn't hugely well received. And
he wasn't even on it, though, was he, really?
No. I mean, he definitely played the solos. He probably put in some rhythms, and that's probably about it. His only involvement in that record.
But yeah, that's it. And like I said, I've seen him live a load of times. He's a really nice guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
Songwriter, but he's just one of these ones. I've seen him. Christ, I think I've seen him at Manchester. I've seen him at Manchester about 3 or 4 times. Usually about 20, 25 people.
The Firewind album, Allegiance, I remember spinning that a lot when it came out, and that is a fucking great album.
Yeah, brilliant album.
Really good album.
Yeah, I played the hell out of that when that came out.
Yeah.
But I kind of lost, like, before that and after that, I never really got interested. It was just that one record.
Yeah.
It was just...
No, the first 3 are good. They're all right. But to be honest, his stuff that he did that I loved his Dream Evil stuff. Dream Evil stuff was excellent.
He was an Arch Enemy too for a bit.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah. But yeah, so that was my list. That was my thing. That was Taketo. You got to sing a song? No.
With an acoustic guitar, I bet.
I'll do it if you want. We can sing a full time.
I bet you fucking can.
There's latency issues. It wouldn't work. Yeah.
Latency, technical difficulties.
Right. Who's up next? Let's keep
Richie, who you got?
Bob Daisley.
Yeah, cannot argue with that.
Yeah.
Underrated, undervalued, underpaid, underappreciated, under a fucking bridge, Bob Daisley.
Bob Daisley, you could argue Bob Daisley is like the single most important songwriter in metal from 1980 onwards.
Ozzy's entire career had a rhythm on it.
Yeah.
No word of a lie. Ozzy stopped being good when Bob stopped writing him songs.
Exactly.
Like you kind of point, Richie, he's underrated, I would say, actually, as a bass player.
Yeah.
Compared to being because people always think, oh, Bob wrote the songs for Ozzy. He was also a fucking great bass player, like a really good bass player.
I mean, he was ideal for it. I mean, he was the go-to guy during the 1980s for Gary Moore as well, which...
Rainbow, too.
Yeah, Rainbow, Long Live Rock and Roll. Also played with, Uriah Heep.
He's on Rainbow.
Right here, right?
Is he on stage with Rainbow?
I can't remember. I think that's Jimmy Bain, actually.
Is that Jimmy Bain?
Yeah, Bob was before Jimmy, right?
Bob was after Jimmy.
Was he after?
After Jimmy Bain.
Oh, yeah, because Jimmy went to Dio.
Well, Dio was still in Rainbow at the time.
That's right. That's right.
Jimmy did Wild Horses after that, I think.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
with Brian Robertson. So saying he was the go-to guy for Gary Moore for bass work for his albums of the 80s, which, in my opinion, were Gary's best albums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you on that one. Metal Gary is the best.
Well, I like all of his eras, but that is my favourite. Except the dance era, that was shite.
The kind of grunge era as well was bad. The kind of 90s Gary, where he went a bit grungy, that was bad.
That's right, aye. That's right. He played on what was probably Yngwie's most commercially accessible album, Odyssey. He played bass on that.
Who, Bob did?
Yeah, Bob Daisley played bass on
that.
He wasn't part of the band, he just played bass on the album.
Which album was that, Odyssey?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Didn't play on all of it. I think he played on, he played bass on a few tracks. I think the rest was done by Yngwie himself, but it's proof. I've said this quite a few times when I've been drunk. You take an album like Wild Frontier, Blizzard of Oz, Long Live Rock and Roll, Odyssey. They're all great albums. Just goes to show that anything Bob Daisley played on is good.
Yeah.
It's all like Taiketo strength in numbers, really, is it?
Yep.
Keep going. Well,
yeah. Okay, well, we're moving on from Bob.
I don't think I need to justify Bob Daisley in the slightest. I think people just need to think,
definitely not.
how great were those first two Aussie records there? That's my justification.
If he had done nothing else, that would be fine. That would be enough. Because you basically changed the face of rock and metal with those two records and funded an entire career. Because let's face it, Ozzy's done nothing good since then. Nothing as good.
Yeah.
Bark at the Moon, yeah. Ultimate Sin, yeah, but they're not as good.
I mean, in my opinion, No More Tears was the last enjoyable Aussie record.
But the whole career was built on the first two. And Bob was on No More Tears
on
too.
that record?
I think we were discussing it on the podcast we did with Glenn Howes. We briefly spoke about Ozzy, and he was like, because he was reading Bob's book, remember, and he was saying to us, like, why did Bob keep going back?
Yeah.
And it was, because he needed the cash, and he did keep getting fucked over, but then,
the poor guy basically got totally shafted.
Yeah.
And, he ended up in a position where he had to keep going back.
Yeah.
Just to pay the bills.
Or banging Sharon.
Oh!
And this podcast goes down. All of a sudden you get the cease and desist suing Tantrum. I'm not
with the big leagues now. Come on, Stevie T, fucking bring it. What you got, bitch?
To be fair, I think we ripped the Ardens in a previous episode, so we're probably over for fucking that ship sailed.
Yeah, we ripped everyone. Fuck them.
Right,
cool. Who's next? Move on from Bob. Who's next? Richie. You got anything else?
I didn't. I've been because it was relatively last minute. I didn't have much of a time to think about it.
Fair play.
Right.
I'll go
next.
List. I'll go. I
did have a backup. But I reckon Stu's got this, guys. So I'll more than happily accept moving on.
Just fling it out. I can still.
You
talk.
Go, Richie. We'll still talk over it. We'll talk about it. Go, Richie. Who you got?
Vinnie Vincent.
Oh wow. I wasn't even going to mention Vinnie, but there you go. Now I can talk like fuck about Vinnie Vincent. So on you go. Tell us more.
I'm going to have to go. No.
What more can you say? I mean, he contributed massively to Kiss for two great records and one good album.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the good one? Revenge,
yeah. The other two that he contributed to were fantastic.
Creatures Wake Up are like classic albums as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they're way up there with Destroy on the debut.
That's Kiss at their best.
If I had to pick a Kiss album, and I wouldn't, but if I did, it would probably be Creatures Night.
Creatures
I wouldn't.
Creatures Night.
It's probably my favourite Kiss record. The Invasion albums weren't bad, but you also remember his contributions as a songwriter as well. Namely doing the music for Happy Days. Come on, we've all seen an episode of Happy Days.
This was when he was a man.
Whoa! Re-fucking wind. Vinnie Vincent did the theme tune for Happy Days.
He didn't do
not the theme tune, but he done like the interlude music.
Still,
he would write songs for the, like when they would do like diner. They'd be in the diner and there'd be bands playing songs and shit. Some of that was Vinnie's work.
This was when he was a man, though, not a woman.
Allegedly.
It was before the transition. When he wasn't, it was before he was a woman, but it was also before he killed his dog and then put it in the can and then been arrested. It was all before that.
Oh, you're leaving me with a horrible editorial decision as to whether or not I have to edit this out now.
No, listen, Stu, you can leave it in because he's got fuck all to do with us.
There's one thing I can guarantee. There's one thing I can guarantee Vinnie Vincent's not doing to make money, and that's being a Tupperware rep. Sorry, I had to slip that in.
Now, you know what? I'll tell you this now, right? I only got into Vinnie Vincent probably about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally, right? And it was more because it was actually probably about 2 years ago. It's because I kept seeing his guitar and thinking, this is cool. I like this. Yeah, listen, and then at one point I was going to get one of these tribute ones that came out, and I was like, I'm not paying that ridiculous amount. No. I'm going to use it. It won't happen on the album. And it'll probably I'll stab someone. Then I bought all his stuff, and again, I'm not a massive Kiss fan at all. To me, I like Revenge. I like the Carnival album. But I bought both the Vinnie Vincent albums and also that demos thing he did.
Yeah.
Vinnie Vincent, the two albums, I like it. I have to admit, I preferred the Mark Slaughter. I was like, people like, oh no, we put the first. I know, of course, it. But the bit that I thought was cool was I was waiting, I was really curious and thinking this. And you start looking, where is he now? What's happened? What does he look like? Do all this? Dog, he's beat his wife up. He's done all this, and here's a mugshot, and then all of a sudden he comes on, and obviously comes on to that thing. It was the Kiss. It was the thing that they have, the
convention, Kiss convention.
Yeah.
And he comes on like that, and obviously everyone's going, okay, is he a man, is he a woman? What, and he gets down, plays guitar, and he wasn't the best in the world. But you know what? For the 20 minutes that he did it, those were songs. That was like, he was there, and especially when What's His Face got up, the original singer.
Fleischman.
Yeah. When he got up, wasn't that, and they weren't in tune in the slightest, but you were there going, those are fucking songs. Those are like, wow. And I remember even the wife came and goes, what is this shit you were watching? With that man and his wife. No, that's Vinnie Vincent. But, right, I would just like listen to it. And even she went, God, you're right. The songs aren't. I was like, yeah, they are songs. He can't play anymore. He cannot play in the slider. But, oh my God, they were songs. And it's not often you have that. To get up.
It's that thing that, Vinny's probably his absolute strength is his songwriting.
God, yeah.
He's
a true songwriter.
And you can have all your opinions on his playing, whatever. Yeah. But he wrote great songs.
Totally.
The Invasion albums have got some absolute gems. I mean, like, I play those albums a lot still. They will probably forever be in my 80s playlists.
Recall on the way back up the road from Newcastle, actually.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Newcastle, yeah.
I was singing the Pie song.
The Pie song, yeah.
What is it? What is that? Those two? What's the one? What's that song? The one off that was off Nightmare on Elm Street.
That Time of Year.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Love Kills.
Love Kills. Brilliant. Love Kills in that time of year. Awesome.
Yeah.
Don't deny that neither of you have put the spandex on, sat in front of the mirror and done your hair up and everything like that. Done that and done the look like that.
My spandex is over there drying now, to be honest.
No, I totally agree, Vinnie Vincent. Excellent.
But I mean, like, even his guitar playing was great as well. Like, I mean, he had a tendency to overplay at points. He did the Yngwie thing on his solo records, but it just became a big old like shred fest at times. But the solos he did to the Kiss albums, brilliant. When he was kind of reined in a wee bit, he was absolutely top notch.
Yeah, it's proof to show what he really could have achieved when he had somebody just keeping him on the leash, which sometimes is not a bad thing.
And I've said it before in a previous one, but man, I would dearly love to see Vinny just get his shit together and go out and do something. Yeah. And like,
nearly happened. That's as close as you're going to get as it was.
He's done a show. So this has happened. Like, I don't know if anybody saw this. He did his birthday thing.
Yeah.
Where there was so many people turned up, and he did like a live performance.
Is this recent, Stu?
Yeah. Nobody was allowed to film it. It was part of the thing. Anybody who was filming was basically chucked. So he had like, I don't know, 100 people or something, and he had the electric guitar on and did like a full shred thing. So there's interviews of people who saw it, and they're all standing there going, "Oh, it was fucking great. It was like 1986 all over again. He was playing great, blah blah blah." But nobody's got any proof of this.
The thing was though, he was on the and this actually goes in quite cool. That the cruise one, the Kiss cruise one.
Yeah.
He was on it. What was funny, the highlight of that, and just watching, and again, massive Kiss fan, apart from Asylum as well. I forgot Asylum. Who wants to be lonely?
Love that song.
But the best bit about that Kiss cruise, apart from when they did Who Wants to Be Lonely, with Bob Kulick and Bruce Kulick.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. Vinnie Vincent gets up with that Kiss tribute band, and he could barely even play a G chord.
Yeah, he did fuck all. He couldn't. He looked like he didn't know what he was doing on that stage.
Yeah. And he was like, "What?" And it was gutting because I was there going, "I want to see this songwriter play."
It's weird. I mean, it's like, and there was the whole thing with Carmine Appice and Tony Franklin where they booked the show, and then it all fell apart. And they say that he wouldn't even discuss doing songs. He just wanted to get up and jam aimlessly with them at the end, and they all kind of felt a shit. So this birthday thing happened, and he apparently played it, but there's no actual proof of him ever playing anything other. There's nothing recorded.
No.
And I want to hear if he can. I want to know if he can still do it, because like, did he just put the practice in and then go and do a gig and it worked out cool? In which case, get your finger out, get a band together, and go and play some fucking songs. Give us a new album. I mean, can he really be living on the royalties of his previous songs?
No, not at all.
I mean,
not after all the lawsuits. They'll have cleaned them out.
I mean, that's clearly why he's come back and done the conventions, because he needed the money. So, like, if
but what's funny? He does that. There was those two things that got released, weren't there? Those two albums. That was Vinnie Vincent,
or the Warrior things.
Yeah, and the second Warrior one that came out had him literally humming one of the songs, playing guitar in it. It was this time. Was it this time of year? I think it was. Yeah. Fucking amazing.
It was, man. That they were fascinating CDs, because you just listen to this guy like create songs in his house.
And it's one of them CDs that you get, and it was like, you know what? If Tantrum had given me that, you're like, fucking kidding me? This fucking bag of wank from you fucking at rehearsals. Do you know what? It's the first time I ever listened to a CD like that, and you were like, that is just unbelievable. That is a songwriter. And it was actually hearing how those songs were written. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, I've listened to those demos probably more now than I've listened to some of his actual recorded solo material. It was really interesting just listening to the songs being formed,
So like Five Finger Death Punch in a way.
So
moving on.
Yeah, Vinny, get your shit together and go and do something. You got anybody else, Richie?
No, like I said, I didn't have much time to think about it this week.
All right, on to Steve. What you got?
My first one is two people.
Go for it.
In fact, I might have two people. But anyway, I'm going to say Brian Robertson and Scott Gorham as one person. And the reason they're underrated is because they are two people and not one person. If you feel me. I think for guitar players, like when you're ever in a two-guitar band, you can like, I'm just going to say Dave Murray and Adrian Smith as well, Glenn Tipton, KK Downing as well. All underrated.
Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking clown. But yeah,
Marty Friedman and Jason Becker.
Proper guitar players. I'm talking here. Yeah, but I'm going to specifically say Robbo and Gorham, I think, particularly because of how influential they are. Brian Robertson was the man that influenced Kirk Hammett to get a wah-wah pedal.
Is that Michael Schenker?
Thanks, Brian.
No, common misconception of the Michael Schenker thing. It was actually Robbo was the first wah-wah pedal he'd heard, and that's what inspired him.
He has admitted it.
Yeah.
He has admitted it was Brian Robertson that influenced him to use the wah. over and over.
It's
I think
possibly
Robbo's,
the reason I've got a wah-wah as well is because of Robbo.
He's one of the, you know me, I'm not a big, the first time I ever used a wah-wah pedal was on the last record I used, Yours for One Solo. And that was the first time I'd ever played, the first and last, currently, time I've ever used a wah-wah pedal.
Don't you worry, Steve, we're going to get you wah-wah done.
Yeah. But it's not a thing I've ever been a massive fan of. I think Brian Robertson was the guy, for me, that used it the most tastefully.
Yeah.
And he used it a lot as well. Like, he fucking dug into that pedal. Like, it wasn't subtle.
Yeah.
But for me, it just sounded great. And I think they worked so well as a team because they were so completely different.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a guitar team, you can't really be similar. You have to have the same intent and the same goal, but you have to approach it completely fucking differently. And like all those three teams that I just mentioned there, they do that. They think about the same goal from different angles. Scott was always a bit more melodic, but it's like something like I think probably Scott was more underrated than Brian, actually, if it was a competition. Because some of Scott's playing is fucking, like, everyone goes on about Robbo's solo on Still in Love with You. But if you hear the bit of Scott on Live and Dangerous, but the bit that Scott does after it is gold. No one ever talks about it.
You know, I think Scott Gorham is sort of weirdly relegated to always being the second guitar player.
Yeah, because he was always there. Everyone else came in, was a flash bastard, and fucked off again. But yeah, Scott was there holding the fort.
People considering Lizzie, there was the Flash guy and then Gorham.
And then Scott.
Hang on.
Sort of like Tantrum, though,
isn't it? It was the Flash guy and Scott Gorham, but somewhere in the middle, Scott Gorham became the Flash guy because he got Snowy White.
Yeah. He got his moment then. Poor Snowy. But yeah, like you had your Gary Whites and John Sykes and Brian Robertson. No one ever talks about Scott Gorham, but like his tone, his like I think you were talking about earlier on, Dan, about guitar players that like you instantly recognise.
Yeah,
like, Scott Gorham is that guy.
Yeah.
He plays a fucking note with a vibrato on it. You know it's him.
Yeah. There's not many people that you can ever say about that. And, you know, I can count the thousands of albums. That's just one. That's J-Lo. That's all the J-Lo bootlegs. The thousands of albums
booty legs. The booty legs.
Yeah, booty legs. Out of the 1,000 albums I've got, I bet there's guitar players that I could honestly say, you put them on, and you go, God, that's them. And, you know, like you said there, Scott, going like whatchamacallit as well, Jason Becker, you know, like Marty Friedman, you know, you always know when there's you can always tell when there's a Kirk Hammett because, what the fuck is that?
You can indeed, yeah.
He's in E, dickhead, and you're soloing in. And there's not many, and I think the word is that they've got their own voice.
Yeah, I think with like guitarists from that era as well, like it's probably going to open up a whole thing, but for me, 70s guitars, because they were working with less shit, with less gear, they had to figure it out, and the process of figuring it out made them identifiable. Yeah. Like I need to turn this Marshall up full fucking blast to get what I want, and it's going to do a weird thing, but that weird thing is going to be a mad thing. Completely.
And you know what? There's actually, if you take someone, what's weird, you take someone like Michael Schenker, who...
Great example, yeah.
Great example. But what was funny, he went for a period of totally losing that. That was probably him being pissed. But he totally lost his sound.
Yeah.
And found it again, but didn't only just find it, he improved on it, I think.
Yeah.
See, I put George Lynch in that category as well. There was a guy who lost sound at some point, and he tried to be all new metal-y and down-tuned, and then he was going after some weird processed sounds, and then he's kind of going now to having a pure tone.
Yeah. The thing about Lynch, I mean, my mate Jay's, you know, he's good mates with George, but he's an obsessed player for being like it. And the thing about George that I found, it's one of these things, and when you watch him, he's the one player that I watch. I've got everything by him, everything, even the shit that you still keep because you need the collection to be there. And I've watched him, and I'm there, and you're going, is he actually any good or is he shit? And I'm like, I can't tell. I really can't. There's some stuff he does, and it's like, God, that's cool. And then you're like, he is shit. Do you realise that actually sounds wank? Because the amount of times I've seen him, and if you'd have gone into the music shop, picked the guitar up and started playing that. Then we go, crap. That's it. And you're like, and you just can't get it. You can't sort of, it's like him. You know what? If I was George Lynch and I had got up to jam, like he'd done, to jam with John Levin, right? You know, on one of the Dokken songs, I'd be embarrassed. I'd be shitting it. It'd be no different to Vandenberg getting up with Steve Vai going.
You see how we circled back? That was deliberate.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was like a Billy Connolly joke.
Synchronicity.
Yeah. But I tell you, the funniest thing though, right? I actually prefer, and going at the Dokken, the live DVD with Red Beach. I actually prefer it than George playing it. It's like, great. That's brilliant.
Red Beach did a good George Lynch.
He did a brilliant George Lynch.
Yeah.
No, he's like you can imagine that. Okay, so Winger's now been destroyed because of because of Brevis and Butthead. I've done a tiny bit with Shaka Khan that I don't really want to talk about. Been with Alice Cooper, sort of died a death because he didn't want anyone to know that I was in Winger. I've got for Dokken. There you go. How big are you? Oh, you're doing shows of 30 people. Yeah, I'll do it. That's cool.
Hey, I'd fucking kill for 30 people.
Yeah. But no, that was a good one. That was a good one.
So yeah, underrated musos. I'm putting Robbo and Scott both in there. Robbo probably more because he did bugger all after Motorhead.
Robbo is a sad example.
Oh, actually, that's a fucking underrated album too, by the way.
Another perfect day.
Oh, aye.
Robbo's a sad example of a guy who just never utilised
wasted talent, man.
He had, yeah.
But he kind of went the same way John Sykes did. John Sykes fucked off and did nothing, and still is threatening to do something and never fucking does. And what a great player.
We will get to John Sykes unless you're going to produce some.
No. Yeah. So that's that. I sense that this is what I like. See, when I was kind of looking through, like who am I going to say? It's hard to not pick the whole band with some of these guys. Like with Lizzie, I could pick probably everyone that's ever been in Lizzie.
Yeah.
As an underrated musician.
Robbo's interesting though, because I mean, Robbo literally did after Lizzie and he did Wild Horses.
Wild Horses, Frankie Miller, Motorhead.
Well, with Frankie Miller though, with Frankie Miller, he was in Frankie Miller's band for a long, long time, but they didn't really produce anything. Nothing really recorded. There's an album called, I think it's Dancing in the Rain, and it's got Robbo credited on the album, but I've played the fuck out of this album, and I know Robbo. And
I would know if it was Robbo.
I am not convinced that's Robbo in anywhere near that.
That's the thing, you would know.
Yeah.
Straight away.
It just sounds like generic-y 80s guitar player. There's a couple of licks that might be him, but the rest of it, I'm like, there's no danger. That's like Dan Huff or somebody's been brought in to do that. In fact, I'm convinced a lot of it's Dan Huff. I've got no basis other than my ears, but I think that a lot of that's Dan Huff.
I tell you what, I've actually just got a good one, because I'll have to edit this out, but I've got a good one to chuck in with this, right? What's his face that joined Dio?
Doug Aldrich?
Who? No.
Oh,
Greg Goldie.
No. Oh, don't get me started on him.
I don't know who you mean. A younger guy. That's him.
Who?
Robin
Robertson.
No. I've got the fucking thing here. Who is it? I can't. It's the sec. Give me a sec.
Can't be Tracy G, surely.
Yes.
Who?
Tracy
G.
Tracy G.
Gus's brother?
No.
Now, I'll tell you what, right?
Gus's sister?
Now, check, right. Okay. So, I don't know if you've heard of DVDs. They used to happen in the 80s.
After Betamax.
Yeah, after Betamax, yeah.
Richie's got a Betamax.
I've never owned a Betamax in my life, but I do want one. I like all things, so I will have one.
I got those two albums they did with Dio. What was it?
Strange Highways.
And Angry Machines.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is wank. Shit. Crap. So, just rubbish. That's thinking Dio, da-da-da. And then all of a sudden, you go back and revisit. And that's what I do. I get stuff. And then when I'm doing long car journeys for work, I'll grab stuff that I've not listened to. And I put that Strange Highways on. That's an amazing album.
I like Strange Highways. It's a pretty good album.
It's really, it's one of these ones that you have to be in the right mood. It's one of those ones that you play it 2-3 times and you go, wow, I get it.
Is that the one that went a bit grunge? Is that the 90s?
Yeah.
I will put on Strange Highways against anything that Craig Goldie played on in Dio. I just won't touch those fucking albums, but I'll play Strange Highways.
It's all right.
Right. Oh no, I'm going to qualify that. I actually like Master of the Moon, and Craig Goldie played that. That's a good album.
Craig Goldie's just a guitar player.
Well, the story goes behind Tracy G. Is when they done those 2 tours. What Strange Highways was one of them, Angry Machines was the other. And Dio had them put Stargazer into the set. And as soon as Tracy G attempted to play the guitar solo, within about 3 bars, everybody was going like that at him. Because he was... The Dio decided to bring...
For the benefit of our audio listeners, Richie made a hand gesture that would imply that the person was interested in onanism. Carry on.
Yes. When those 2 albums and the tours were done for them, Dio wanted to bring back Craig Goldie into the band and have Tracy G just play rhythm because of his butchering of the guitar solos.
No, it's true. That live DVD, there's the best songs on it are the ones off Strange Highways and Angry Machines. When he attempts to do Rainbow in the Rose. That was Winger. Rainbow in the Dark, and they do.
That's a fucking £4.50. That.
I know. And it's awful. He's terrible. It's like you'd be embarrassed. One of them gigs where you'd be afterwards, you'd be like, let's have a talk. Paul's going to give you a second warning, but we've just recorded that. Yeah, you're out. Okay.
He's not an awful guitar player.
No, he's not.
I even watched a video of him doing some solo stuff the other day.
Yeah.
He's not an awful guitar player. It's just when he played the existing songs that Dio was known for, the Sabbath numbers, the Rainbow numbers, and the already recorded Dio numbers live, it was almost as if he wasn't thinking what he was doing.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like Craig Goldie, though, he can't play him either.
I saw Dio with Craig Goldie. I thought he was brilliant.
Because playing with someone like Dio, you need to be able to straddle 80s and 70s at the same time. That's a fucking different thing.
But you know, the thing was though, he actually took Doug Aldrich from nothing. I mean, Burning Rain were a band that at that point were like in them. I saw them from Wigan to no one.
Nobody gave a shit
because it was at the wrong time.
Doug is a player that could do that. He can go 70s. He can go 80s. He can.
I don't want to get into it that we actually supported Doug, my mate Doug. Don't want to get into that.
I mean, Lion weren't hugely successful, and neither were Burning Rain, and yet as soon as he went into Dio, he became like an A-list player.
Yeah.
You know,
Dio... Transformers song.
What Transformers song?
He did Lion did the Transformers theme tune on the Transformers movie soundtrack.
Which Transformers though? The good one or the shit ones?
Yeah, the
original cartoon one from the 80s.
The proper one, the cartoon one.
Steve, there is a more hard rock than metal. Hard rock version of the original Transformers theme with Doug Aldrich playing guitar on it.
I fucking see that movie. We're tangent again, but that fucking song. What's that? I can't remember the guy's name.
Stan Bush.
You got the touch. Stan Bush.
Stan Bush.
What a tune! What a fucking tune that is.
That whole soundtrack's gold.
Both of them.
It is. Everything about that movie is great. See all your robot CGI shit. Piss it all down the river. You want a bit of Japanese anime and some 80s AOR hard rock. That's what Transformers fucking is.
It's true. You know, get Michael Bay to fuck.
Great movie. Michael Bay.
I might watch that film after the podcast, actually.
That's a fucking great movie. Why the fuck is Hot Rod not in the new ones?
Who knows?
Who cares about the new ones?
But that's what fucking Rodimus Prime.
They just know.
Who cares about the new ones? Bumblebee will always be a Volkswagen Beetle, not a bloody Yankee Camaro thingy.
Showboating for the Americans. Big poor.
I remember, when I was young, I went to the cinema to see that with my dad. I remember crying at the cinema. Totally.
Oh, when he dies, fucking
I cried my eyes out, and I'd forgotten until I bought the DVD. My eldest lad.
Did it bring it all back?
I was there watching it with him, and you're there going, remember this? And I'd forgotten, and I was crying my eyes out. I was there, and he's like, what's up? He's going to come back eventually. He comes back. It's a bit weird. I can't get into it. Oh my God.
I remember ITV showed it early evening.
Yeah.
Roughly about the time when, the mid-2000s when YouTube was starting to become a thing.
Yeah.
And it reignited a massive resurgence in interest in film.
Yeah.
Some 20 years after it was released.
Yeah.
And loads of parodies of the film appeared on YouTube, including one of Optimus Prime's death scene, where he's just about to turn grey, and he gives away the matrix. Goes, "I love you all, except you, Hot Rod. You can fucking die." I don't know what happened, but it was funny.
There was so many, like the one where they bring back Optimus Prime. I'm going off on a massive tangent here, but they did another one of those.
We're already gone.
Where they brought back when Optimus Prime gets resurrected, and they had the whole like comedy sketch where he's like, "I can't believe this is what I've been fucking left with is you fuckwits." He's going to.
That's it. The Dr. Smooth parodies.
Yeah.
They were brilliant.
I'm going to have to look one of those up after we finished here.
Cool. Right, I'm going to have to head, guys. All right, dude.
Oh, it's all right. Cool, man.
Ladies and gents, this has been Dan from Promethium.
Yes.
Is that it?
Mic drop.
You serious? Is that it?
We'll
fucking kidding me? Is that it?
We'll talk about you when you're gone.
We'll try and get you back on at some point when you've got like actual time.
Yeah, cool. Other thing, Steve, as well. Can you get your missus to add me on Facebook?
I thought you were
Bit of blue. Bit of blue for the lads.
Bit of blue for the lads.
Cool, right. Thank you so much, guys. Had a good laugh anyway. All right.
Thanks, Dan.
Cheers for coming on, Dan.
That's Dan.
I better go and get in trouble off the missus. She's obviously looked at eBay things. Again.
Wipe your search history.
Yeah, we'll do.
Replace it all with
porn.
porn.
We're looking at porn, Dan.
All right, see you later, guys. You look after yourself.
Yeah,
all right.
All the best, fella.
There we go.
And then there were three.
Yeah, right. We'll continue on. So, Steve, what else have you got? Because we're in the end anyway.
Yeah, we're fucking not even done the main bit.
We've been on this for hours.
We just had banter. Yeah. So who do I have? Well, like within the same band, Phil Lynott, underrated because everyone goes on about the poetry and the lyrics and the frontman and the rock and roll shit, but he was a good bass player. Like nobody ever mentions how good a bass player Phil Lynott was. Like
the only
Dancing in the Moonlight. Who writes a bass line like that?
The only reference I can think of to his actual bass playing, I think, is Richie Blackmore, who said he was a bit shit, but he didn't mind.
Well, he was quite sloppy, I believe, was the kind of general consensus because he was singing and playing at the same time and stuff. And
he jammed with Blackmore and
they nearly formed a band.
Ian Pace,
Babyface.
And
they were going to form a Hendrixy kind of style blues band.
Richie does say in whatever the interview where he talks about it though that like he thought that he thought he'd improved significantly when he heard them next or something. I can't remember how it worked, but there was some kind of mention of that, or I'm muddling stories here. I'm not sure, but there was definitely something about somebody had heard Phil and went, he's okay and he can sing pretty good, but then the next time they saw him, they went, all right, okay, that guy's actually practiced a lot and is now really good.
Yeah. But like Dancing in the Moonlight and think of like Waiting for an Alibi, the intro to that, it's just like, and the tone, like he had a different tone from all our bass players at that time had that kind of, how do I describe it? Like a thicker kind of bumpy kind of tone. But he had a really crisp, and it cut through, and it worked perfect with a 2-guitar band because it was kind of like Lemmy did. Like it was almost like a rhythm guitar, and he had that chorusy kind of thing going on with it.
Well,
so he brought a different tone.
It's kind of frowned upon because I used to use them, but I was told by Billy, I think, stop using them.
You were.
A lot of those bass players you just made a reference to there, Steve, used to use background strings, and that's partly down to the more earthy, woody tone that the likes of Phil Lynott had.
Yeah,
Folks say they're good enough for Steve Harris.
indeed. But yeah, I think underrated for his work as just a musician.
Yeah,
a great musician.
You know, have you ever seen there's a great clip it's definitely on YouTube somewhere where Phil is playing, and it's a bit later in the career, so he's got the double neck bass and guitar from Ibanez.
Mm-hmm. So you're what, like 80s, early 80s?
It's an Ibanez Roadster Strat type body, you know, headstock with with a bass on the top. But you see him, and whatever the clip is, he's playing like a bit of guitar and a bit of bass, and he's doing a bit kind of jumping between them, and he's really good. You know, it's like the guy was a musician. You know.
Yeah.
There was one said about Phil Lynnett's bass playing that this is a quote from Classic Rock magazine when it first came out in the late 90s. Phil Lynott ranked number 3 bass player of all time as per a fan poll. Not a virtuoso, but his punchy sparsity suited the songs.
Yeah, totally.
Probably helped.
Sometimes less is more.
But then how many, like, it's an interesting parallel with, like you mentioned with Steve Harris, 2 bass players that write, that are the primary songwriters in the band. It does creates a different kind of dynamic when the bass player writing the songs.
Interesting.
They think about it from a different angle.
The top 4 in that list were bass players. In fact, I've just talked a load of shite there because Phil Lynott wasn't number 3; he was in fact number 2. The top the top 4, in fact, the top 5 were songwriters in there, being and 3 of them were frontmen. Phil Lynott, as I mentioned, Lenny was at number 3. Number 1 was Geddy Lee. And at 4 and 5, you had Steve Harris and Geezer Butler, who, while not Steve Harris is a bit of a frontman, when you think about it. Not strictly frontmen, prime songwriters.
Can I throw in another underrated bass player that I was thinking about today, Andy Fraser?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Free are an odd band for that. You know, that they're, apart from All Right Now, most of the public probably don't really remember anything they did.
See, if you look up, there's somebody put a compilation up on YouTube with like rock music at the BBC, I think it was. I don't know what the TV show was, couldn't tell you, but there was Slade were on it, Deep Purple were on it, and Free were on it, somebody else. But Free's performance, nah, it wasn't like Ray. Free's performance is fucking amazing. It's just a 4-piece just with no effects, nothing. There's a great drummer, a great bass player, a great guitar player, and an incredible singer. And it's fucking, I think they only do 4 or 5 songs. And it's just amazing. Like, musicians today can't do what bands like Free could do.
If you've never heard them, anybody who's watching this, go and get Free's live album.
Yeah.
And just have a listen to how they played as a band, like without any
just watch it on YouTube, and the way that like Paul Kossoff controls his guitar with no pedals.
Yeah. Koss is one of those
beautiful
guys, yeah. His vibrato is exceptional.
Actually, another fucking really underrated guy is Paul Kossoff.
Yeah, but again, Koss because he died so early.
Yeah,
he didn't have a big back catalogue of work, and
they needed Hendrix.
The last things that Koss did, like the Backstreet Crawler albums, weren't very good. So I think he'd kind of slightly tarnished himself on the way out, you know. And
yeah, I guess
because Free's back catalogue is stocked full of gems, but because he kind of petered out a wee bit.
I suppose, yeah. That's a good point.
Who else you got? Anything else?
Who else could be underrated? I think.
Can I cut in a second?
Yeah, cut in, because I'm thinking.
You've mentioned Free. This relates into the Free family. There's another underrated member. Not a member of Free, but definitely part of the family. Boz Burrell, Bad Company.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was definitely underappreciated for what he did.
But Bad Company probably get a bit of a kind of... they're slightly the opposite.
The curse of the hit single, man.
Yeah, but like...
Same as Free.
Bad Company are always weirdly slightly overshadowed by Free in a strange sort of way. You know?
Yeah. Again, I think when a band has, you could probably say the same thing about Tin Lizzy. Like they have that one massive song, and that's all anyone ever thinks. And they don't look further into the catalogue.
That's funny you say that. I was, as you know, lads, a few months ago I bought a 8-track player and a load of cartridges out of curiosity. So I joined a load of these 8-track collectors groups on the internet, and a guy posted, look what I found. It was new, still sealed, on 8-track, a copy of Jailbreak in mint condition. And
possibly all the best album ever made.
All the comments on saying, oh yeah, they were one-hit wonders, blah, blah, blah. They were all from Americans. And I'm watching thinking, shut up!
America, I don't think America never really got Lizzie, did they? Because every time they toured America, something went wrong.
Yeah, the hepatitis and the Queen tour and stuff. Yeah, all went wrong. The Boys Are Back in Town isn't even the best song on the album.
No, but it's a great song. But
yeah, and it's not even the best one.
It's definitely not the best song on the album. I'm trying to think what it is.
Like Emerald. Emerald Massacre was Massacre on that one.
Hang on.
I can't remember. Like Romeo and the Lonely Girl, even that was like they were one of the few. We could do a whole fucking podcast on Lizzie.
We should.
We probably should.
Yeah.
We probably should. I mean, fucking Richie, read off the songs. What we got?
Right. Well, a lot of these are staple when you look at it. Jailbreak.
Yeah.
Angel from the Coast.
Which is that's a better song than fucking Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah.
Running Back, that's quite laid back on, but
also better. Better.
In fact,
I'd say that's probably my favourite track on the record.
Yeah. Throwing it back to a bit earlier on Robbo's solo album that he did, Diamonds and Dirt.
He does a version of it, yeah. Diamonds and Dirt.
Run Back, that's really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We've also got Romeo and the Lonely Girl.
In fact, was Running Back not a Frankie Miller song?
No, because it's filled in it.
To fill in it. There's one that he did that was a Frankie song as well. I can't remember. It'll come back to me. Keep going.
If there is, it's not on here.
I think it's on Fighting actually.
It's either on Fighting or fucking what's the other one? Nightlife. I think it's on Nightlife.
Okay.
Warriors is on here now. That's a banger, but the live version's 100 times better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everything was the live version was better on that record. I think really, when it just they just sound better.
Nah. The Live and Dangerous versions didn't touch Jailbreak.
Ooh, controversy.
Don't touch it.
Dispute that one.
Nah, they don't. They do not have the vibe and the warmth. Not even close.
Nah, the studio version of Jailbreak, I'll give you that over the live version. But Warriors, way above this version.
Nah, not having it. Carry on.
I am. Right, okay, side 2. Obviously, the Boys Are Back in Town kicks off side 2.
Yeah.
Fight or Fall, that's probably the
that may be the best one
song on the record.
But it might be the best one. It's better than Boys Are Back in Town, and also better than Jailbreak.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Right. Cowboy song.
Fuck yeah, that's better than fucking Boys Are Back in Town too.
And it made for a great lead into each other when they did it live.
Yeah, write a song in the same key, make them both bangers, and you're fucking golden.
Yeah, excellent. And of course, Emerald.
Emerald.
You can't argue with Emerald.
It might be the best album ever made.
I don't know.
We should do a podcast on that.
Yeah, we could certainly delve into Lizzie at some point because.
Well, we did say we'd do a music retrospective one night, and Lizzie is a good shout because
Lizzie would be good.
I think we're all massive Lizzie fans, so I think that's one that we could do that. That could be a thing.
And
absolutely.
And as we have discovered before, we would disagree on some of what we consider the better and worse albums.
I think we'd probably disagree on quite a lot.
Yeah.
Of the Lizzie stuff. For
example, for some mad reason, you think Thunder and Lightning is not as good an album as any of the Snowy White records, which I find fucking baffling.
Just can't get it. On that note, I'm going to go for a little Gypsies while you're discussing your underrated albums. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
All right, well, I'll get into mine in a bit.
Oh.
Right, well, who will we chuck in first? I think the first person we will talk about is, and we've kind of mentioned this a few bits tonight, but Vivian Campbell. I mean, you have to look at the Dio stuff, I think. Just for Holy Diver alone, that album should elevate anybody to the status of like a great. And yet, for some reason, well, I mean, for many reasons actually, Viv's career he never seems to get. There was always something happening that stopped Viv, like a bit of traction in his career somewhere.
I would agree with that, but he's not done too bad out of Def Leppard.
No, I mean, like, let's not beat around the bush here. The dude's had a successful career and he's made a lot of money. You know, I'm sure he doesn't want for anything in particular. But as a musician, I can't really consider anything he's done in Def Leppard. I struggle to think of any of the songs he's been on that have done anything particularly successfully with Def Leppard.
Yeah,
when Love and Hate Collide, I think that's probably the only hit that he was involved in that they did.
Aye. Because the hits certainly, well, as much as Def Leppard are still very successful, mostly as a legacy act, to be honest, but they're still putting out records. Well, the hits really dried up around just before they put Slang out.
All they're playing now when you go and see them live is stuff off of Pyromania and Hysteria primarily. They'll chuck in a couple of Adrenalize, and then like I think the last time I saw them they played Wasted, and I don't think they played anything else off of High and Dry or On Through the Night.
But nothing off Euphoria either.
No, Euphoria has pretty much been blanked, as is like albums like X and all that stuff. Like,
well, I can forgive them for that. Euphoria, there was a massive hype about that.
There was.
I remember when it came out, they were on TV shows left, right and centre. Leppard have gone back to the 80s sound, etc. No more slang. It's going to be all over glossy, overproduced, etc. Yeah, they seem to have completely glossed over that album.
Yeah, it's been kind of written in existence. Right, for Steve's benefit now that he's us, we are talking Vivian Campbell.
Is that your pick?
Yeah.
By the way, that's a fucking good show, man. It's completely his own fault.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, this is what we were coming to. So, like, Viv is well been documented now. He was in what's the name of the band he was in?
Savage. Sweet Savage.
Sweet Savage. And he ends up getting the gig in Dio. So we get Holy Diver out of him, which is an absolute banger. We can't really.
To be honest, if that's all you ever do in your life, fair play.
I think I literally just said that. If that was his only contribution, that would have been enough to cement it as a legend. But we get Last in Line, which is also a great album.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sacred Heart, not my favourite, but lots of people love it. You know,
I like it. I really like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. I just don't think it's as strong song-wise as the other two.
No.
And then Viv's career just seems to hit a weird patch where
he goes to. Who does he go to? It's Night something, is it?
It was Whitesnake, I think, straight after.
There was someone before Whitesnake. Well, I don't think he did much.
What year did he leave? What year did he leave Dio? So.
Like, whoa, 90, was it 85?
Could have been.
So you get 87.
Around about then?
The 87 tour.
By the time he got to Whitesnake, it was 87-ish.
Yeah, well, it was 87. 87, 88, he toured with Whitesnake.
Yeah, that's right.
On that subject, I do remember reading an interview in an old guitar magazine with Vivian
Shadow King, that was it.
Cool. Shadow King was 90s.
So before Def Leppard?
No, it was when he was in Def Leppard he did Shadow King.
1990, before Def Leppard.
No,
Def Leppard was 92.
It was, actually, yeah. Okay. I'm thinking Whitesnake in my mind there. Yeah, so he must have gone from Dio to Whitesnake.
Must have done, yeah.
There was nothing in between.
Well,
River Dogs. I've got River Dogs, 1989.
Yeah,
after Whitesnake.
That's after Whitesnake.
Yeah, so it must have been. Yeah, must have been Dio to Whitesnake.
And then, like, the Whitesnake gig is kind of interesting because he does the tour for 1987, and then the kind of the rumored story. I'm not sure how true this is. So allegedly, is that there was issues between like his missus at the time and David Coverdale's missus. So he ended up falling out of favour and either being asked to leave or he quit. I'm not entirely sure what the story there is.
Right, I was about to say there about this interview which I read circa 92, 93 in an old guitar magazine which I found in one of them places where you can buy magazines for a penny or whatever back in the 90s. And Vivian Campbell, he just joined Def Leppard. And interestingly, he said that he can see Def Leppard being his last band. Now, when you consider his recent brushes with bad health, lymphomia, etc., and they've stuck with him.
Well, Def Leppard.
Leppard are a loyal band, man.
You just need to look at fucking Rick Allen for that.
Yeah.
You're drumming.
Leppard will stand by you, whatever the fuck happens.
That aside, he really did rip into Ronnie Dio in that interview.
Oh yeah. I mean, like he's bad blood with Dio is legendary. I mean, the stories, the pair of them have got, like, there's tons of interviews where you can see the pair of them just slag each other off, you know.
It's an interesting parallel with Ozzy as well, because Dio and with Dio, Jimmy Bain, Vivian Campbell, and Vinny Appice were sold a bill of goods that it was a band.
Yeah.
Exactly the same as the original Blizzard of Oz were sold the bill of goods that it was a band, and then it became not a band, it became a name.
Jimmy Bain's quote, I can't remember what the name of the band was. He was like, I'd rather have been called the fucking Pencils or something than Dio. You know?
In that interview with Vivian Campbell, he does mention about his time in Whitesnake. First of all, he said that he made, in a short spell in Whitesnake, he made more money than he did of Dio. You know, and he put that all down to David Coverdale. He said David Coverdale was a very, very financially generous person in comparison to Ronnie Dio.
Yeah.
And secondly, he mentioned why he quit. And from what I remember in this interview, it was animosity with Adrian Vandenberg.
All right, okay, cool.
And he spoke to David Coverdale, and, it's been documented that David Coverdale wanted Adrian Vandenberg and Michael Schenker to be his guitar players. And there was no way Coverdale was going to back down and, put Adrian into a corner, which he eventually did by getting Steve Vai, of course. But
it's a shame. It was
a case of it's him or me, and thanks, Vivian. Handshake, check, ta-ra.
Having listened to that bootleg album, which is an official bootleg, so Whitesnake actually put it out in the '87 box set. So you get this live album with Adrian and Vivian. And you when you actually hear them playing together, they were really good. They were a good guitar team, and it would have been interesting to hear what they would have done had they been able to make an album. I mean, it was never going to be '87, but it would have been.
Whitesnake's never been a proper guitar team band, though. I feel like.
No, Bernie Marsden and Mickey Moody were a guitar team.
I know, but like, I don't know. I don't think they would, not in the same way as Lizzie or Priest or Maiden did. I always think it.
But I think that's because they had like so much of a revolving door, I think.
But what he makes a good point is that Campbell and Vandenberg, because they're not two big names.
No.
So how that could have been a really interesting thing, how they would have worked together. But I think at that point Coverdale was wanting the kind of the same way as Ozzy did with the star player. The MVP kind of guy playing guitar. And
then, so you got the River Dogs album that Vivian did as well, which it's a good album. I really like the River Dogs. If anybody's heard it, it's kind of a bit more, you're into the kind of the grungier era, but it's got more of a Lizzie feel to it, I think, the River Dogs, actually. The singing is a wee bit kind of its 90s era, but musically, it's very much in a kind of Lizzie territory, I think, I'd say. And then, like, everything he's done with Def Leppard afterwards, I just...
It's been rough.
Yeah, well,
like, really bad.
Def Leppard have just never produced another good record for me, anyway. And I consider myself a Def Leppard fan.
I'm a Def Leppard, like, diehard. I love Def Leppard. But I think the closest they've come is probably Euphoria.
Now, we mentioned that record before you returned, and Stu was telling me, like I said, I do like Leppard, but I've never overly got into them. When you'll probably remember this, Steve, when Euphoria came out, there was masses of hype about it.
Because it was like the new Hysteria.
Yeah, they're going back to the 80s sound, everything's over the top. They were on TV shows left, right, and centre. Promises was a reasonable hit.
Great, I love that song. Good song.
Yeah, and it did sound like vintage Leppard.
Did.
But the band just seemed to have obliterated from their back catalogue again.
Well, it's because
Damien Hirst on it. Not Damien Hirst. What's his fucking name?
Damon Hill.
That's it. Not
Damon Hill plays guitar on Demolition Man.
Right.
Let's not beat around the bush here. Without Steve Clark and without Pete Willis, they've just struggled to keep tunes coming out, good tunes.
They've really gone down. They've tried to go so far in the pop territory. They've gone into like country territory as well, with that song they did with Tim McGraw, which actually was a good song. And that's the kind of Mutt Lange thing with
Was it 9 Lives? Was that the song?
Yeah, it's a good song.
That was songs from the Sparkle Lounge, I think, the album.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, which actually again isn't a terrible album. It's just
but like,
I suppose when you set the bar that high, it's quite hard to.
The problem I have with modern Leopard albums is that if I listen to them, and I'll always play them when they come out, they'll bring a new album out and I'll play it, and then it's just like...
forgettable.
Well, I think songs from the Sparkle Lounge, and then did they do one afterwards that was just called Def Leppard?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
And the lead single from that was called... one of them had a song called Let It Go, and the other one was like Let's Go.
It was Let It Go from Def Leppard.
But
like self-titled.
And then Let's Go or something was on the other. So like they had these 2 singles and 2 albums that were almost the same song with almost the same title. And I was kind of thinking, that's not good enough. It's not what I expect from Def Leppard. I just expect more from Def Leppard.
They've always kind of rallied against the whole heavy metal thing and the hard rock thing. Even they've always kind of thought of themselves more as a pop band, and like they make quite a big deal of the R&B influences that were there on Hysteria and stuff. I feel that's kind of steered them wrong, to be honest. Like they straddled the 2 worlds of pop and rock perfectly, right up till Adrenalize, and then they fucked it.
Now, Adrenalize, if I remember correctly here, I don't know if Vivian Campbell played on that record.
No. Phil Collins did Steve Clark's parts and his own.
I was about to add there. A lot of that album was comprised of Steve Clark's compositions.
Yeah.
He only had demos of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just tried to copy. I mean, he talks about it as well. He tried to copy Steve's parts the way he thought Steve would play them.
Yeah.
And you can hear that it's still in the same ballpark, that album.
Yeah. There's a slight swing and a kind of looseness to it that Steve Clark brought to the table.
Yeah.
I think, but coming back to the point, because we've kind of gone right off it, surprisingly, about Vivian Campbell, is that he's such a good fucking player.
Yeah.
And he's wasted.
Yeah, he is.
And, well, this leads us up to where he is now when he did the Last in Line records. Where it was amazing to hear those, because you got to hear Viv Campbell
playing,
and he's ripping on it like that. The second album, not quite as good for me. Maybe
the first one's better.
Again, I think it's because it's missing Jimmy Bain for maybe from the songwriting point of view, because Jimmy was a great songwriter. But that first Last in Line album,
brilliant.
Man, the man plays his ass off. I mean, he proper rips some tasty riffs and solos.
Just to hear him playing just like with a Les Paul through like an Engel stack, minimal effects. So None of this shit that Def Leppard has on tour with the big fucking production. Just a basic thing. Just you and your guitar is shredding. It's brilliant.
And it's like that's what I want to hear from Vivian Campbell. Just give me more of that. Just more of that, please, man.
I think it's a tricky position he's got in Leppard because Steve Clark's parts were so distinctive. Like, he has to honour them.
Yeah. And
he has to play them. And there's not really a lot of, when you listen to them, there's not a lot of leeway to do your own thing with them.
No.
Because Steve Clark was not a shreddy guy.
They're playing to cues a lot of the time in that band as well.
Yeah, exactly. That. You can't fucking improvise in Def Leppard.
I saw them quite recently on one of the tours, and he was playing. He was playing a lot more leads. I felt thinking watching it that Viv was playing, and it could just have been the songs they picked had a lot more Steve Clark leads.
Maybe.
But he definitely had a bit more. He was up taking a few more solos in the middle of the stage on the catwalk, which I thought was interesting.
You've always said this, like, he's wasted in that band. But like, you're not gonna like go, well, I'm gonna quit Def Leppard and fucking pursue my musical journey. That would be fucking stupid.
The business they do is going to keep him employed forever until they die. You know.
He's probably the ultimate team player then.
Yeah.
Like, really the ultimate, because they're basically saying, we know what you can do, but you can't do it. You have to do this other thing instead.
I do recall an interview with Dio. This is around the time he just released Magica, that album, the late 90s.
Mr. Magica.
And he talked about Vivian Campbell in this interview.
Or men of a certain age, that one. Or kids of a certain age.
Yeah. He'd talked about Vivian Campbell, and he said to me, he says he's got all the licks, he's got all the talent, he's got all the brains. He could have been the main guitar player in any band he wanted. Yet after he departed Dio, he was happy quite being the second guy.
Yeah. That's
he said he's wasted as the second guy to Phil Collen and Def Leppard.
He's a better guitarist than Phil Collen. He's a better player than Phil Collen.
That's debatable.
No, that's a fact, man.
I mean, that's Ronnie
I
Dio's
love Phil
opinion.
Collen. I love Phil Collen, but he's kind of a one-trick pony. Like, just in terms of solos, not thinking of riffs or melodies. I'm just thinking like soloing.
Personally, I'd rather hear Vivian
because he's got more in his trick bag than Phil's got. Phil's got pretty much one trick. It's a good trick.
Yeah.
But Vivian's got loads, man.
Have you ever seen that Def Leppard movie?
No, is it the made-for-TV one?
VH1.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's
pretty bad. But there's that scene where the band auditioned Phil Collen, and well, obviously it's actors. The audition Phil Collen, Steve Clark walks out, and Phil Collen follows him, you know, and no, I can't compete with you, blah blah blah, you're shred playing, etc. And the guy's playing Phil Collen turns to him and says, "What about style? What about feeling? You've got that, I don't." You know, it's quite a pivotal moment, really.
Again, and our guitar team that work perfectly well because they're completely fucking different.
Yeah. Right, I think we can move on from Viv now. We've covered this extensively, but it's going to segue us perfectly into my second pick, which is the Whitesnake guy, Mr. John Sykes.
Yeah,
Sykes.
And
we've talked about Sykes a lot in I'm sure a lot of episodes, but
we have actually, yeah.
The man's career is just interesting because he's again
frustrating.
Yeah, everything he's been in, he should have been way bigger than it ever was. When he was in Tigers of Pantang, that band should have exploded.
Yeah.
Spellbound's a great album, and for some reason just didn't quite do anything, really. And they didn't really get any kind of hit out of it until Love Potion number 9, in which case he was already gone.
Yes.
You know? But, I mean, the stories are now fairly legendary about what went wrong with Tigers. And it brings us back to episode 1 with Mickey and all that stuff. So we don't need to go over that again. But then Lizzie joins Lizzie just as they're breaking up.
That's the interesting point, is that what if he joined Lizzie like earlier, eh?
Yeah.
Imagine if he joined Lizzie before they made Chinatown or something like that.
If he'd been in that band instead of Snowy White and we'd got 3 John Sykes Thin Lizzy albums, I think that would have been outstanding. I mean, that you just need to see what the guy did afterwards to know he wasn't a one-trick pony. The man had, he had a lot of shit in him that was good, that could have been better if he'd been in a better band at the time,
You could probably, if someone said, explain 80s guitar playing, of all the 80s shredders and guitar players that there were, you could probably just point to Whitesnake 1987 and go, that guy does all of that. That's all you really need.
Well, that's kind of fun because, John Sykes is not your typical 80s guitar player, really. He was a Les Paul through a Mesa or a Marshall, but he wasn't doing the
whammy bar, none of that shit.
I mean, there's bits of it. You can hear he's obviously some of the solos have got whammy bar dive bombs and things double tracked on them, but for most part, and if you saw him live, he does it all in a Les Paul. Mm-hmm. And it's as basic as it gets. I mean, it's like a straight-in scenario as well. He doesn't even...
He hates even a tuner.
Yeah, the last time I saw him, he had obviously in the 80s, he had the big rack stuff and all that, but the last time I saw him, he had a JCM 800 and a Les Paul and a cable, and that was it.
Yeah. He uses one of the little shitty tuners, little, not even like a pedal tuner, it's a little tuner, and he'll just talk shit for a bit, plug into the tuner, tune up, unplug it, fuck it off, play again, because he hates anything in his signal chain. Yeah, that's brilliant.
But the guy he's such a talent, and it just so he does Lizzie. He does a good album of Lizzie, which I've said but many times. I think Thunder and Lightning's a great album. But then they do that tour, and the rest of the band were falling apart, and he was the only thing that, by all accounts, that kept them on the road throughout was his injection of new blood. And they were he was all psyched up to, there's another pun.
Oh, part of the pun, that was fucking brilliant.
That's the name of the John Sykes tribute band, by the way.
Oh, fucking should be the name of the next John Sykes album.
If it ever comes out.
No, so that's the name of the John Sykes tribute band.
He was all ready to go with the next Lizzie stuff project, and they were like, we're pulling the plug on this, and that's it, dead. And then he was, again, potentially going to do Grand Slam with Phil, but then got the offer to join Whitesnake. So moves to Whitesnake, does Slide It In, or the overdubbed Slide It In, and in the middle of that tour, falls over a car and breaks Mel Gailey's arm or wrist or something. And that's that particular version of Whitesnake fucked, because he has...
Can I point out that might not necessarily be significant in his career, but you've missed one out.
What?
The Three Amigos. Which is effectively Thin Lizzy without Scott Gorham.
Oh, yeah. Did the tour. Yeah, the tour, yeah. I wasn't... that's uber geek stuff. Even we're not going to fucking be getting into that.
Got a few of the bootlegs.
Yeah, but they weren't an actual band. They didn't produce anything.
Didn't record anything.
Nah. But, there's some stuff out there. And there's the solo-y thing he did with Please Don't Leave Me with Phil, which is cool tune.
It's a very cool tune. Now, I can't remember when, but another band covered that. And it went to number 1 in multiple countries. Mostly across Europe.
Yeah, not in Britain.
Was it
Except
Bulgaria?
United Kingdom.
Was it Bulgaria?
No, this song went to number 1 in countries in Scandinavia, Eastern Europe, etc. It was the Pretty Maids. Pretty Maids, they covered it. And they did a very good version of it as well. I think it was about 1996 or something. Anyways, it went to number 1 in multiple countries across Europe. There's a few quid in John Sykes' pocket for writing it. Yet, again, nobody paid attention in the United Kingdom.
Well, I mean, that's just...
Yeah, the UK only gives a fuck about what's fashionable, man. The UK doesn't care about fucking music.
So where were we up to there with Sykes?
Johnny Thing is your Mel Galley breaking his arm.
Yeah, so Mel Galley breaks his arm, and then there's that's that particular version of Whitesnake dead. Then they get the 1987 lineup for the recording of 1987. And then that story, I think we've probably covered about a million times.
Yeah, and it's just really confusing and complicated.
So
many
produces
stories about it.
Produces probably what I think is it not the biggest selling album of '87? That or Hysteria was certainly touted as being.
It would be one of the two, I would imagine. Yeah,
and so
possibly Whitesnake because of the Tonic Italian videos.
And then he's out the door before the album's even pressed, you know.
Mental.
And then he gets the solo deal with Geffen, so he puts together Blue Murder, and then produces that first Blue Murder album, which is arguably great, and it tanks.
It's rubbish.
Yeah.
It's rubbish.
Blue Murder.
It had all the potential to match the Whitesnake record, yet it became more of a cult act.
Yeah.
But the lyrics are fucking embarrassing on it. They're so bad.
No,
is that a reference to the song Sex Child?
Yes.
Yeah, those lyrics are very
but you got to remember, it was the 80s, man. This
doesn't fucking matter when it was, man.
This was the era.
You sent me that album and I listened to it in the car and I laughed my ass off until track 4 and I fucking withdrew it.
Oh man, like when you
track
get
4's Jelly Roll, isn't it?
When you get to stuff like Valley of the Kings.
What was it called? Jelly Roll.
Hang on, I'll take it out.
So yeah, nah, fucking. I know it was the 80s.
Songs like Valley of the Kings were killer. Black Hearted Woman, Tol Emi.
Valley of the Kings would be okay, but it's too long.
The song Blue Murder, brilliant. You know, it was Out of Love was Is This Love redone, but just as good. There was great tracks in that. Billy's a great song. Riot's a great song. The only one that's got slightly questionable lyrics really is Sex Child, which is
highly fucking questionable.
It's like it's very Spinal Tap, you know.
It's more like Spinal. At times, it's more like Spinal Tap meets fucking Gary Glitter. It's really cringeworthy.
Really bad.
Hang on. I'm gonna get this.
Like the riffs on that. Great. It's fine. You can keep reading.
The playing's great. The playing on is great, but it's just it's not what he needed to do at that time. I don't think. I think you could probably say that's where he fucked it.
It kind of highlighted that he was a good singer, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got a great voice, but I think at that when did that record come out? Richie, you're looking at that.
85.
89.
89 even. 85, fucking hell.
89.
Again, it was a band at the wrong time. I think it was
the tide was kind of turning about then.
80s, yeah. And then it was kind of evident on the follow-up one with Nothing But Trouble. Again,
that's a great record.
It was a great record, but like nobody was interested in 80s rock at that point because that was like 92 or something, and it was just fucked. You know, nobody cared.
It was.
If he'd like been ahead of the curve and dropped like a fucking Alice in Chains facelift style record,
but it wouldn't have been John Sykes.
He could have done that.
No. Well, I mean, he tried it slightly later on when we get to like, Nuclear Cowboy, where he attempted.
Yeah, but it would have been too late then.
He tried to embrace
timing. It's all about the timing. Fuck it, the timing. He's already fucking.
So Blue Murder tanked, and then he starts doing the Psych solo stuff. Although he does do that great Screaming Blue Murder, which was the anniversary of Screaming Blue Murder, the live album. I think it was yesterday or something. I saw it on Facebook, whatever. That's a great live album because you get Lizzie songs, you get Sykes, you get Blue Murder, and you get Whitesnake, all in one album, and all sounding
great live album.
Yeah, all sounding like it was played by the guy who actually played them. And then you got solo Sykes records, which were all really good. I mean, like there's a lot of great material and a lot. I mean, they're varying degrees of quality. I think Out of My Tree's a wee bit iffy. I listened to that the least. But
bad sounding record.
It is. But again, it was 1995. I'm sure it was really difficult for anybody to be producing anything out of metal that anybody cared about. They weren't going to be getting big budgets to do that stuff. It was, he was an afterthought. He was only famous in Japan at that point. His entire career was about selling records in Japan by the mid 90s. But like he came out of that with the double thing he did, which was, I'm trying to think what the album was called. It was the Loveland album, but then the
20th Century.
20th Century. That's a great album.
Which is a belt of a record.
It is. It's got like so much like Lizzie at their hard edge kind of stuff. It's got great riffs. The songs are cool. He's doing some more slightly metal-y stuff on it, but like doing it properly, you know, in his kind of style.
And it does sound quite modern as well.
It does.
For the time.
But yeah, and it was well produced and it sounded good and it should have done way better than it did.
Yeah.
And it just tanked. And then he did Nuclear Cowboy, which was his kind of attempt to do like, it had like industrial programming and all that kind of, you know, snippets of that kind of stuff dotted through it. There was like loops and stuff. I mean, there was some cool songs in it. There was. But it just...
Aye. I'll give you that. I mean, Talking About Love was a good song.
System Ain't...
I Wish It Would Rain.
Yeah, I Wish It Would Rain. Did that have System Ain't Working on it as well, or was that on 20th Century?
No, that was on 20th Century.
But, you know, there was great songs on those albums that should have done better than they did, but, like, he just... After 1987, he just never picked up his career again properly, really. You know?
No.
But, I mean, I suppose the compensation is that he's probably made enough money off that one record alone that he'll never have to work a day in his life again.
Yeah, I suppose.
So,
yeah.
You
just feel like someone that's that good a player, you should be doing something like.
Yeah,
you want to hear something.
We've been teased enough by John Sykes and this new soul album, which, if it's, I mean,
Psyops.
Well, we're even asking. I think there was an interview with Tony Franklin recently where I think they were saying that he might not even be calling it Psyops anymore, but like even if it's the same album, he might have re-recorded it or done a whole new set of songs. Nobody really knows.
I mean, he has done something because he contributed towards that Gary Moore tribute album that was arranged by Bob Daisley.
Yeah.
In a version of Still Got the Blues, which was, well, it's not Gary Moore, nothing is.
It seems to me like he's
very respectable.
He's one of those players that needs to be within the constraints of somebody else's project.
He's a Vinnie Vincent. Don't leave him to his own devices. Let him be in a band.
He needs to be directed.
Get him in a band and it's gold.
I saw him front the Thin Lizzy Live tribute, which was great.
Yeah.
Which was great. And Diamond Head were the support act that night, which was even better. But, you know, just saying that, you know, John Sykes does need reeled in to get the best out of him. When they came on, when they went into Jailbreak and it came to John Sykes' lead interludes, I winced.
Yeah, because he's not a Robbo.
You hear Robbo just give it the bends and the expression.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Gorham doing the same. You know, I mean, I've seen footage of him with
Gary Moore in the band. You've got an 80s player playing a 70s song, no man.
He could have done it. He's got the capability of doing it, but no. This is what John Sykes did for his solo. He done that bloody rolling harmonic trick where he's trilling and he goes and he done that for the entire fucking solo. Like, John, we know you can do that. You're the best at doing that. But give it a rest, mate, and show us what else you can do. Especially on a song that you didn't write.
Yeah. I would go with John Sykes.
So I would like to see him do something new and re-pick his career up and try and... The time is right for John Sykes to return. There's a market for players like John Sykes now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
totally.
He would do really well on he would do well in the UK circuit. He could do all like the HRHEs and all that stuff. He could probably headline those kind of things.
I'm sure there'd be cruises he could go on and shit like that.
If he goes out and plays Whitesnake and Lizzie and Blue Murder songs, he could easily headline any small metal festival or rock festival.
Yeah.
Easy.
If he was to announce a comeback to live music, all those organisations that you've mentioned there, Stu, would set them up like that.
Yeah, man. You'd be in all of them.
Yep. And while I'm sure you I'm sure he's got plenty in the bank from that Whitesnake album alone. I'm sure he wouldn't have any trouble paying the bills.
That's the interesting thing. Like, is that maybe the issue with him? Is that like he's too comfortable?
Well, I mean,
there's no motive to do something.
The stories seem to kind of keep rolling back to the management thing. Like, he had issues with management and Tigers, and by all accounts, his long-term manager through the rest of his career died a couple of years back, just as that solo album was going to come out. And the general feeling seems to be that he's not a guy who is able to particularly take control of his own career. He's always somebody doing something for him, and maybe he's just doesn't know where to go, you know?
He's also admitted himself that he's quite lazy as well.
Yeah, that's a problem with a lot of musicians.
I love John Sykes. I think it's great.
I'm going to chuck one more guitar player in here because we're coming up to quite late on the day and we need to roll.
Fucking 4-hour session, this one.
So my final pick of people who were incredibly underrated is another guitarist, kind of, and a singer as well. Anybody going to guess who I'm going to say?
Guitarist and a singer. Is it Paul Stanley? Because if it is, I'm going to bed.
No.
Guitarist and a singer.
This guy should be legendary.
Justin Hawkins?
No.
Give me a clue.
His name's Richie Kotzen.
Cheers.
I will give you that. He's a hell of a player.
Richie Kotzen should be considered like a legend.
Do you know why he's not?
Because he was in Poison.
He's got no fucking songs.
I have a few theories here.
Name a great Richie Kotzen song.
I could name you dozens.
No, you can't.
I could.
Nah, not one.
I've got all his albums. I've heard every song he's ever done, and I could name you reels of great songs.
I'm just gonna drop it here. He was picked to replace Paul Gilbert and Mr. Big.
It doesn't matter.
You've got to be good.
Well,
being good doesn't matter.
This is my theory on Richie as to why he's never, or one of the. There's a few problems I think with Kotzen's career. One, again, timing has been at all the points in his career when he could have been elevated, he was slightly at the end of the wave that came along.
Yeah, when he went into Poison, it was too late. It was in grungy, wasn't it?
And the Poison thing has sort of hindered him slightly because it's named by association. The fact that he was in Poison is always going to be detriment to his career.
At that time, it would have been, yeah.
Serious, actual musicians will have an issue with the CC DeVille stuff, I think, and then if you listen to the album we made with Poison, it sounds like a Richie Kotzen album with Bret Michaels ever so slightly buried in the mix, with Richie's voice shining through underneath on the lead vocals as well. Whenever there's like a nice note being hit, that's Richie singing it and not Bret Michaels. And there's a lot of that on that album. So like the association with Poison, I think, harmed him slightly. And then he joins Mr. Big, who again, Mr. Big at that point were kind of on their arse, and they were on the way down. And
were they ever off that? Were they ever not on their arse?
Well, To Be With You was a big hit.
Steve, that song went to #1 in 12 countries.
It was a rubbish song, though. That doesn't matter whether you're #1, but it's a shit song.
Look.
It made
Steve,
after that.
It made them a household name.
Steve, you love vinyl, right? That album is a banger. That album is also, that song is also the last track on the record. And as we know, on a vinyl record, the last track on each side sounds shit.
Sorry, shit, yeah.
So listen to that album, and you can ignore the last track because it sounds like shit.
But maybe that's the issue, because I'm not going to listen to Mr. Big because of that song.
Oh, Mr. Big.
No, seriously, that album is a banger, mate.
Because I put it in the same place as More Than Words. Well, they're like in the same little box for me.
We could easily discuss Nuno at the same time, who's another guy who should have been massive but wasn't. His solo stuff was great, and he just, for some reason, Nuno just never blew up the same as Kotzen.
You need to be in a good fucking band.
Nuno gets a bloody good paycheck for being the tone guitarist for Rihanna.
Yeah. But you don't get to hear his music, and that's an issue, because he's so good at it. Kotzen's the same. Like again, with Kotzen was weird because like when the Winery Dogs were formed, weird link to John Sykes there, but we'll gloss over that now. The Winery Dogs became quite big, and they suddenly kind of boosted everybody's profile a bit, and they were playing like bigger shows, and they were doing quite. That album did really well. It was very well received by public and critics, and their tours were doing quite well. They were pulling lots of people in. Just before that happened, maybe a year or two before, I'd seen Richie Kotzen play in Edinburgh in the Caves to like 20 people tops, and like this guy, I was just sitting there watching this dude like absolutely ripping his guitar and just playing amazingly, singing beautifully. And just thinking, why is nobody here watching this guy play?
He can't sing along to any of these songs.
Oh man,
the Winery Dogs was a winning combination.
We're just going to have to ignore everything you're saying here because this is absolute bollocks.
The Winery Dogs was a winning combination because
it's fine to be a great player, but you need to be like that's probably his problem is he's never been in a great band. It's not. Winery Dogs are kind of boring. Poison are obviously Poison. Like being a really good guitar player it's hard to make it just as a guitar player. Well, like, to be Steve Vai is fucking hard.
Richie Kotzen not only is a great guitar player, but he's an outstandingly good singer. He's a great drummer.
Even that's not enough.
He's a great producer. He's a great songwriter. I'm sorry, you're entirely wrong on that, but he is a great songwriter. He's good at everything. In fact, he's exceptional at everything. And he
again doesn't mean anything because it's not. He's never made that kind of jump to.
I have no idea what you said, Richie. Can't hear you.
I'm watching a Lover's Tiff unfold. Yeah, like.
I don't hate Richie Kotzen. I'm just saying that like a lot of these guys, like being great and technically perfect at everything you do, just it's a good example of that not being enough. It's a perfect example actually of that not being enough. Well, what's weird is kind of like someone like Yngwie is kind of similar, but it kind of is enough for him.
Well, no, but Yngwie...
But he's a lot of help.
The thing Yngwie had over Richie, though, was that he was earlier. Again, Richie Kotzen was later on in the...
Yeah, that kind of shreddy thing was... There was a period where that was...
So Richie emerged in the same category as Jason Becker and Marty Friedman.
Wasn't he tapped up by Mike Varney and Shrapnel Records?
So Jason Becker produced Richie Kotzen's first album.
Wow.
So was he kind of a bit later than Friedman then?
Just ever so slightly. So they were the first wave of...
But in the late 80s, ever so slightly is like, you're talking like...
Oh yeah.
A month or two.
It was...
Like the difference between 1989 and 1990 is fucking huge.
So, but had he been in ever so slightly earlier, he would probably been way more successful.
Mm.
He just came out at the wrong time. Because like his career sort of peaked in the 90s when everybody else was dying on their ass.
Mm-hmm.
His solo deals with Geffen and stuff were like early 90s, 92, 93, when again...
Just before it went tits up.
Yeah, and I just don't... He never really got the push, and there was just nowhere for him to go apart from Japan. So he then became one of those guys who was a great guitar player in the 80s and the 90s that ended up doing his entire career in Japan because nowhere else in the world was interested in hearing it.
Which is not a bad life.
No, I mean, like, again, he's done incredibly well.
I'd love to be big in Japan.
He's just put out a triple 50-track album and all kinds of shit. I don't think he's caring. He's probably done an incredibly good career, and I'm sure he's incredibly comfortable. He's possibly doing this Adrian Smith album, which would be quite nice.
Might elevate him. A wee Iron Maiden association might just do the trick for him.
I think at this point in his career, he's as big as he'll ever get. You know.
That does interest me.
I don't think an Iron Maiden association is going to boost him, to be honest.
No, I'm joking.
It didn't do much for Maiden's career.
He's just talking shit now for the fucking sake of it.
I mean, if you look, I am going to deviate here, but if you look at all the spin-off bands from Iron Maiden, only two really have, had something. And that's British Lie and Bruce's solo career.
But the best ones were Adrian Smith.
Yeah.
I know.
The most creative ones.
You walk past somebody in the street who's wearing an Iron Maiden t-shirt, pull them to one side and ask them if they've heard Silver and Gold, or Bruce Bailey's Silicon Messiah.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like
you'll draw a blank.
I find it weird that like Steve Harris, being the lead songwriter in Iron Maiden, has written so many great songs, and then you come to British Lion, and it's like, what happened?
Well, the first album's not even really his songs. It's that like British Lion were a band that Steve got involved in producing and helped them a bit. It wasn't really him writing the songs.
So
but it was
sure
as fuck was him producing the bass on that album. But I feel like with Adrian, the best example of Adrian is the one he did with Mikey from Sixth. Primal Rock Rebellion.
Yeah.
If you listen to that record, it's like, fuck, he's the guy in Maiden that's open to different shit. And if he can do something along it won't be the same, but if you can do something in that vibe with Richie, then
I'm just curious to hear what it's going to be like.
I hope it's something a bit different. I think it will be something a bit different. I can't see them just doing a generic kind of blues album. I hope they don't.
No, yeah, I doubt it, because I don't think either of them have done that at any point in their careers. Have done like a generic blues album.
They've not, but old rockers always do that in the end, man. They always fucking do it. It always comes down to that. It always comes down to a blues record. I can fucking see it.
Yngwie's just done one, and it's shit.
Exactly.
Who's done one?
Yngwie Malmsteen.
Oh God, is he trying to sing in it still?
Yeah.
You just can't play the blues, man. It just doesn't work. Don't do it. It's not your thing. Your thing is neoclassical rippage. Don't do the blues. Don't do pentatonics.
Oh, right. I think we're marching into massive amounts of time here, so we're probably.
We have done 2 podcasts for the price of 1.
Aye.
You could potentially splice this into part 1 and part 2.
We're not.
And that's entirely Dan's fault.
That was nice to have another guest on anyway.
Absolutely.
Ritalin.
And we will do more guests.
I think we should have Dan as a regular feature. The fucking maniac.
Right. On that note, we will do the usual wrap up. So, okay. As of this point in time, all the orders that were building up through lockdown have now shipped. So everybody who orders something, it should have arrived by now if you're watching this and you order something. We are now shipping as normal, so if you want any merch or music or shit, go to Bandcamp, Tantrum Scotland, and buy things, because we can now ship them.
Can I just say, go to Bandcamp on June the 5th, specifically, because they're waiving all fees on that day, so we will get all of the money on that day.
Cool.
We'll potentially do a little cheeky deal.
I was literally about to say that. There will be deals, and we might even do a bit of a giveaway at some point soon as well. So we'll do some competitions or something. And yeah, so Tantrum Scotland, social media, all that shit. That's everything. We will be back next week with more stuff, and
sure as shit.
Keep grabbing the camera.
It's now gone midnight, and officially I'm another year older.
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you.
Thanks,
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Richie. Happy birthday to you.
Of course, now that this is going out in about a week's time, so you will be a week older by the time this is actually aired and anybody's seen it.
A week older and about 4 or 5 days.
Right, if that's it, then we will.
That was fun.
We will stop the episode here, and we will see you all next week.
Sure shit.
Cheers.
Bye.